Yep. When you're on a flight, still at like 70%. Should be.
Lakoseljac Cup Final for 2026 to not only decide the winners of Tasmania's entry to the round of 32 of the Hahn Australia Cup, where they face the prospect of an A-League opponent. Following that, our men's under-21 final will begin at 5:30. To remember for everyone's comfort and safety, KG5 is a smoke-free zone. This includes cigarettes and e-cigarettes. Welcome our team today, starting with the home team at Kingborough Lions. They beat South-Over on penalties to make it to the final. Their starting lineup is number 1, Nick O'Connell. Number 2, Eli Wright. Number 4, Babgat Young. Number 6, Hugo Schwartz. Number 7, Joel Badger. Number 10, Eli Lutner. Number 11, Solomon Tolke.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to KG5 for the 2026 Lakoseljac Cup Final. It's the Devonport Strikers up against the Kingborough Lions. It is a glorious day for football here at KG5. The sun is shining, conditions perfect, and an intriguing matchup in store. Devonport had such an affinity with this competition in the past decade, a few seasons since they've last won one, looking to reclaim the trophy and return to the Australia Cup round of 32. The Kingborough Lions, meanwhile, came so close to a breakthrough a couple of years ago, losing a heart-stopper to the Glenorchy Lights. They're looking to go one better here today and get that elusive piece of silverware in the trophy cabinet down at the end. It promises to be an intriguing final. Two teams in good form at dramatic passageways through to this with incredible semi-finals. Hopefully we get something similar here today. I'm Andrew Cooling, calling the action for Football Tasmania, and joining me for this big one is my friend Paul Hunt. Paul, a ripping match in store here.
It doesn't get better than this, Andrew Cooling. Pleasure to be here as always on a sun-drenched KG5 Football Park in Glenorchy, the home of football in southern Tasmania. Great to be here once again. Kingborough and Devonport both going at it to get in the Hahn Australia Cup round of 32. The big prize is arguably the biggest prize in Tasmanian football, with all the history attached to it, the 27th Lakoseljac Cup Final we have here today. And unlike some other years we've had in the past where there's been a clear favourite and a bit of an underdog, which we might have seen last year, this year two really even teams. Kingborough definitely getting a bit of the wood over Devonport in the league the last couple of seasons, having a better record, but Strikers, as you mentioned, Andrew, they're Cup Final specialists. They know what they're up for here today. The coach and plenty of the players have been here before, I think we're going to be in for a pretty tight, a pretty even game here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's an intriguing one. Both teams have been in pretty good form in the NPL Tasmania. Just one loss apiece, I think. And Kingborough, one loss did come to Devonport, but it was a couple of months ago. It was on the road at Valley Road. There's been a bit of talk that maybe the KG5 surface, the wideness of it, might suit their playing personnel, particularly the speed they've got up front here today.
Yeah, definitely. Eli Wright, one of the fastest and best young players in the state. I reckon he'll have the opportunity to run down the wing, and Lightwood Park, their home ground, got a bit wider in the last few years with all the upgrades we've had down at Lightwood Park, so they're a bit more used to that, whereas Devonport, Valley Road, always a good surface in April. Come August, it's not quite the best. So we'll see what impact that has today. Both sides up for this one.
So we're just about ready to go. The sun beating down on KG5 as the 2026 Lakoseljac Cup Final gets underway. It's immediately kicked into touch out there.
One of my least favourite things about modern football, that kick-off right here.
They'll launch it a bit wide on that occasion. Barton will let that one run, one of those experienced heads at the heart of this Strikers defence. They're starting line up today. Harper, Barton, Sheen, Dennehy, Jolivet, Tolliver, Layway, Bates, Van Nugent, Last and Parks. Strikers pass it around. Trying to build here via Dennehy. Now it will be Tolliver to spread it wide to encourage Layway. He's immediately pressured by a couple, so trace back to Last. Kingborough Lions have got O'Connell, Wright, Biong, Schwartz, Badger, Lutmer, Tebajay, Pitt, McShane, McDowell, and Lakoseljac, who's played in several of these down the journey, and whose grandfather the cup is named for, as Devonport, their typical style, quite happy to recycle the ball out the back. It's been a long way the Strikers have approached the game.
Yeah, they don't tend to differentiate too much from that style of play, no matter the conditions, which today, bar a small little, I'd say 10 km/h breeze, is pretty much completely perfect here. And Kingborough Lions, they've had plenty of change in their lineups over the last few years. Just the two of the starting 11 were here 2 years ago in that aforementioned Cup Classic in 2024. It's not quite a free kick called by Proctor for the little clip there on the Kingborough player rushing forward. It was last of the Brady variety. See Taylor in this final over the last few years. Devonport with a pretty heavily rotated team, had plenty of changeovers since their last appearance here a couple of years ago in the Cup Final. But we alluded to before, Tony Barton and Connor Parr, two stalwarts of their defence, particularly now with their captain fantastic Kieran Mulroney not playing here today.
Yeah, for so long a pillar of that Strikers defence, but still plenty of experience back there, and they'll have to keep their wits about them against a pretty dangerous Lions side with some real pace. Pitt is one of those threats as he plays it back here, but it's seized upon by Bates. Now Tolliver. Shane careful not to foul as the Lions see it away. Pitt and Wright, Tebajay and Badger, who really impressed me in the semi-final classic against South Hobart. Slightly better conditions here today. The deluge that was down at the Den that day. Get more contrasting conditions for this one as Courage looking to get him behind down the right here, and he swings in a teasing ball to the back post. No one there. As the whistle had gone. And the flag up in the AR saying it went across the line.
Yeah, and in that semi-final game, I was really impressed with the defensive midfielder, the gap beyond the number 4 for the Lions. I thought he played that metronome role quite well as the turnover here. We'll see Courage Flyway nearly make something out of that as Pitt getting a bit more central than we've seen down the years. So I think Knight's player as well. Actually see him on the wing, he knows this pitch right at the back of his hand.
Van Jolivet standing over this one. Next chance for the Strikers to swing a set piece into the mixer and test out the Lions defence. Nick O'Connell back in goals. Sure we count for this. Hitting the deck with Sheen. Some half-hearted shouts for a penalty, but never seemed particularly likely. O'Connell made an enormous save in extra time to help his side get through. It was very nearly South Hobart. One of the best saves you'll see to keep that one locked before coming up trumps in the penalty shootout. This is this final in good form between the sticks, Nick O'Connell. The Strikers doing the early attacking. Courage Layaway looking to get him behind a McShane. McShane defends astutely. Now Beyond. They look to launch this one in the Eli Wright direction. Beaten in the air though by Sheen. Across comes the experienced Brody Denny.
We talking before about this young, fast potential wingers for the Lions. Well, they're just blatantly playing up front today with Noah Mees on the bench for the Lions, who's usually the number 9 you would have up top, but they're certainly going to give away height to the likes of Barton and Park, the Lions Strikers, but I think they'll certainly win on pace as the Strikers now with a chance to get on the attack as they roll back. It's Jolivet. Well, it's a last. Space to run down the wing if he wanted to, but didn't on this occasion. Also pushing the back, and well, so there wasn't the biggest amount of force there. When you have 2 hands in that position, that was a foul and a free kick in multiple football codes.
See the arms extending away from the body there. Gave him a chance to go down. You've got to be a little more subtle than that if you're McShane. And he looks to have his hands full with Courage Layaway early on, giving him a few problems down this right wing. It's been the Strikers doing the attacking. They've been a dangerous team from pieces down the journey. Maybe not quite as much tall timber as a few of those Strikers teams that previously won the Lakoseljac Cup had at their disposal. But you see the likes of Barton and Park presenting real threats here. An opportunity for Jolivet. Sends something in. It's a dangerous ball flicked on by Dennehy. It was a clever little flick on, but there was no one in the back post there to get on the end of it. An early warning shot there.
Oh, it's good positioning there for Brody Dennehy when you've got your short, nuggety striker like Dennehy. You want him making those near post runs. And that's exactly, he did all the right things. Just no one coming in at the back stick and moving to Strikers and players down the pass. Good to see the Fox and Box, Miles Barnard, here today in attendance supporting the Strikers despite not playing. Scorer of some great and around some great cup moments there. Devonport travelled down in fantastic numbers. You can see their banners up all across the ground as step overs being thrown in from Teddy J. He gets the strike on with plenty of power, and that whistles past the post. Ortega Harper down at the end where all the Kingborough fans are. A good early sight for the winger.
And they find their voice for the first time. Haven't had a lot to shout about thus far. The Lions faithful. They have amassed in a good number. This very much the end of the ground. They're all gathered at. Tevage there, almost bringing them to their feet with a thumping drive. It was curling back, just couldn't quite keep it down. But he was another one who was lively in that semi-final against South Hobart. First real flash of the Lions' threat after the Strikers controlled the opening few minutes. It will be one in the middle, and winning it is Hugo Schwartz. Nods on, Pitt chasing after that one. Have a run here at Park. Decides instead to go inboard Beyond. Just a bit too much on it for him though, and Jolivet was there to cover. Eli Lutmer, experienced customer. He won't be daunted by the big occasion, that's for sure. There's now an opportunity for Badger. Barton with a nice block.
With the Lions side obviously only having 2 of their starting 11 from 2024 here, it doesn't mean they don't have plenty of players with big cup experience. O'Connell's been here, Lakoseljac's here, Lutmer's been here. They still have plenty of experience, so they shouldn't be overawed by the occasion at all. And Beyond, who's come in from the mainland, lifts that one over the top, and Ortega Harper collects. I haven't fact-checked this previously. This surely has to be the first time we've got 2 goalkeepers who've both been on an A-League men's team sheet in the final of the Lakoseljac Cup. The Western Sydney Wanderers, Nick O'Connell on the bench for Brisbane Roar a few years ago.
Yeah, I'd think that would be right. It's the first time I can remember. That one's flicked on by last. McShane with a high up and under. Beyond helps it on its way. Barton volleying forward, straight back to Beyond, who Rolls it across, and now Eli Wright, who doesn't have too much room to run into, so instead retreats to Vidal, and they'll execute a little bit of a switch here. Now McShane. You played it to Biong and Teberge, and long strides here from Biong as he lopes forward. Plenty of bodies in the middle if he can get round the outside of Park here. Just about dealt with the situation. Biong not happy, but Copra blows a foul. In the end, the other got past him, lining up in the middle.
Plenty streaming in there, and Connor Park with just a little movement, shifting all the body weight there to the left at the crucial moment. Got the arm out, kept running straight, and a bit of a tangle of feet there. I reckon if Biong managed to twist and turn out of that one, take a Harper's goal, would have seen some action as Lutmer rises high. That one thumped high in the sky from Isaac Bates. Getting the ball back on the deck. Now Bates again. Doesn't see an option, so turns back out towards Barton. Devonport Strikers pushing their fullbacks up pretty high here to start, leaving Barton and Park in the defence. Calls for handball against Lutmer, not given. He gets it out towards Wright, who tries to go through two players, told to get up, but that was actually an advantage goal, and Copper will bring it back for the foul.
Yeah, some wonderful work there from the Badger. You see the threat he possesses, and it took a hefty foul to bring him down too. That was a sharp turn. He's a real excitement machine when he can start running at the defence. He'll certainly be one they look to feed and get to test out this Strikers defensive unit. So a set piece here. Lutmer makes his way up, as does Shaw's. Biong to take. The Lions just starting to warm to the task a little here. Biong flicked on and shouldered behind with authority by last. Unconventional motion, but deals with it.
That's why you lift all them weights, so when you get one off the shoulder, you've got enough power to put it straight into the fence behind the goal. As I think Devonport Strikers, Jolivet there thought there was another player down there, went running to mark someone who turned out wasn't there. As Lions have their first corner of the game. We expect Devonport with their tall timber to match up well, but this time it goes near post and cleared again by last. Jolivet with the head up against Badger. Plenty of miles early is Badger. Bates wanted the switch on, but Courage Leeway was standing in the centre circle, not out wide. The Lions will now come out through the left-hand side. So they got a toe to it. Heavy touch. Teberge gives the Strikers defence an easy clearance. It does get back that way, and it's a good, strong challenge again from McShane. Teberge goes inside. Badger plays the 1-2 with Wright. A bit of activity coming down that right-hand side so far. And the overlapping run of Vidal is found. Back in towards the centre. Biong at the top of the box. Well-headed clear there from Connor Park. Strong header from the Strikers defender. Ball in the shade on the grandstand side as the sun begins to set to the right of screen as the cross comes in, but right down the throat of Harper.
Easy pickings there for Harper. Nice little combination starting to develop in the final third for the Lions. Strikers with Jolivet dropping very deep, trying to get involved there. Jolivet heads wide. Now Dennehy. Only a big game experience, Brody Dennehy. Jolivet and trying to turn sharply Van Newton, but he's beaten by Schwartz. Nicely there, composed as the centre half. McShane. There's Teberge. Just to drift inside and combine with Pitt. So had a good effect, but the through ball, a poor one from Teberge. Last. Park. And Barton. There's a look up. Rolling it through again. Jolivet dropping in. Centre circle, and draws a foul, which will be Lakoseljac not thrilled with, but seemed there.
It did seem there from this angle right in front of us here.
And Mr. Coppera's nose, always the man for the big occasion.
I'm losing track of the amount of cup finals Brendan Coppera has refereed, always up for all the big games in Tasmania. And with the Strikers, the one difference to what we've seen down the years is in that attacking lineup. Always had that one sort of, if not target man, advance forward number 9 down the years with Miles Barnard, Fernandez Garrido, to name a couple. But this year going with a much shorter lineup with Dennehy and the local Roy Van Utigam. Just playing a slightly different way to what we've seen previously. And they're probably not going to win too many headers around beyond. But now the shot comes in from distance, which O'Connell sees harmlessly wide. So both sides they've played the ball in the air a bit here tonight, but when they're in attacking sense, they probably want to play it on the ground, given the height of their strikers.
Certainly conditions conducive to that. Some kind, I don't know what that musical instrument is called. But
there's a car alarm if I'd ever heard one.
It does sound a bit car alarm-like, because just losing his footing there was Van Nudegem. Goes back in for it. It's a real scrap for the ball. Grandstand side. Eventually, a free kick had been blown before a very blatant foul, but the ref had caught the first one, unfortunately, for the Strikers. No doubt the second one was stronger, but he already blown his whistle.
Absolutely. Going tumbling to the ground, the Strikers player, but, both fouls were there, but you've got to call the first one. The man in the middle, Brent Coppera. Anyway, Lutmer. One of the few Lions players in this side with round of 32 Australia Cup experience, although it was FFA Cup back in his day. Co-commentator Andrew Cooling still having South Africa 2010 flashbacks here today with Vuvuzelas at both ends of the ground.
I reckon the Vuvuzels sound better than whatever that is, quite frankly, Paul.
That one's a bit more of a reject shop version, you reckon?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. There's Courage Layway with a strong challenge. Keeps it in front of us on the commentary scaffolding as Connor Park plays that one down the line. Dennehy gets ahead there. Touched out by Schwartz coming across from centre back. Is a good crowd building up here, though, despite our complaints over some of the noise.
Oh, look, at the end of the day, it's having a bit of an atmosphere. The Lions fans, they tend to bring the noise, and the Strikers doing likewise today with the instruments. And it's a perfect day for football. I can't remember better conditions for a Lakoseljac Cup final.
Oh, certainly not a Lakoseljac Cup final. You and I were here one year for a summer cup final. It was T-shirt and shorts weather, but that's back in March, so you almost expect that as Tolove goes towards the byline, and Lutmer puts that one into the rivulet behind us.
Launches it out of the precinct.
Oh no, it has managed to stay within the confines.
Last to take the throw here for the Strikers. Layway offering short, that's where he heads. Back to last, who just dinks one. Didn't get much on that. Should be easy for Schwartz to steer clear. Park first to the ball. Teberger rising. Then forward by Bates. Broken up by Lutmer. Pitt. Nodded it straight into the path of Dennehy. Tolove. Park. Driving it. McShane. Across the head away. Layway will try and keep this one in, but Teberger just outpointing him there. Pitt smothered by Park. That's what this Devonport defence is just known for.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at Radio's rocking the no shoelaces done up look on his boots, which is a bold strategy. That one harmlessly falls out of play.
It seems fraught. He's got a stoppage here and he's not doing them up. And
especially when you have to turn and chase a pacey striker. I certainly wouldn't be doing that as a right back in socials, let alone a Lakoseljac Cup final. As Olivet getting a few more touches on the ball. Bates with a good amount of space here. Heavy touch. Does find a teammate. And that one harmlessly over the top in the end from Tolove. Lutmer. We were talking in the Women's Statewide Cup final earlier, Andrew, about short goal kicks versus long goal kicks. And Kingborough sort of doing a half and half here, where they look like they're going long and then end up going short. As Lakoseljac forward. Now to play. Lakoseljac playing in a deeper role than what we're used to seeing. Normally playing as that deep lying number 6 for the most part. He usually played further forward in his South Hobart days.
Yeah, just playing alongside Beyong in the midfield there and looking quite comfortable. The Lions trying to get something going here. Here is Beyong, but cross to deal with that Van Nuttigem. Wins the throw-in as well. Juggling there from Tom Ballantyne on the Strikers bench. Half a job done as far as he's concerned. The women thumping victors in the previous final. 6 goals to nil A1 over Lonnie United. Don't think we're going to see a scoreline like that in this one here, but he'll be hoping to make it 2 for 2 on what is a massive day for the Strikers as Bates skipping forward and has a few numbers with him in support. He rolls it through for Tolliver. Tolliver forced wide, so he goes back to Van Nuttigem. It's deflected. And the Lions defence able to quell the threat, although they've turned it over a little bit cheaply here. Dennehy, sort of task for Jolivet. And now the Lions try and spring a counter through Pitt. There's plenty of bodies back for the Strikers, and from the deck, Last makes the challenge, lost his footing but won the football. He charges forward now. And Shred's on the ball. Still rocking the untied shoelaces. As this one is sent long, that's almost springing Eli right in behind. But again, the Strikers' defence snuff it out.
I did think that was a foul on Jolivet earlier as O'Connell comes out and collects that one that saw him on the deck. He definitely got the ball first, and usually when you get the ball first and hit afterwards, it's a free kick. But Dennehy now approaching the byline. Thinks that's going to run out for a corner. It's going to be a goal kick, much to the chagrin of the noisier Devonport fans who've congregated down that end. I mean, that doesn't sound good, as O'Connell. Well, we don't quite have the facilities for the new countdown clock coming down in the World Cup, but I imagine come next week this will be a situation where the new countdown clock will be used. Back to O'Connell. Kingborough using plenty of the width, but not playing out from back with any particular speed on some occasions, as Tony Copper not calling a free kick on Badger on that occasion, who's back up to his feet and chasing down Jolivet. Courage back to Park. Jolivet couldn't see anything ahead, so goes back towards Park. And TJ lobs that one inside. Pitt might get there first and does. Good use of the body from Rowan Pitt. Beyong furthest forward. We've seen him for a little while. Beyong charging through the middle. The clearance of Toby Barton hits that one, and despite having the feet down, Beyong called for the foul.
Yeah, just probably need to slide that one through to right and then continue his run into the box to receive. He had a head full of steam built up, trying to take on the entire heart of the Strikers' defensive unit. Bit of a low percentage play for mine, that. But he has looked dangerous when he's galloped forward. As back at Beyong. There's one back again by Pitt, who won that tough midfield battle moments ago, but this time the Strikers through Sheen. And to go back the other way. Nothing coming of that. It's a tight battle early on here in the first 20 minutes. We expected nothing less to evenly matched sides. Got all to play for. Here's McShane. Played it first time, trying to combine with Teberger, who retreat back there to Harper. Which is at high. Schwartz and Solivay. Solivay doing really well there. Some great body work, and he brings Courage Layway into the game. He's got a couple to beat now, though. McShane doesn't have to see it out. A good old-fashioned centre-forward hold-up play there from Solivay.
Certainly, and this game reminded me a lot more of the Lakoseljac Cup Finals of the past between Devonport and South Hobart in terms of the evenness rather than the sort of open-ended games we've had the last 2 years. That's a good turn from Tolliver. Gets it towards the top of the box toward Dennehy. Wants it on the left. Gets it on the left. Good save from O'Connell, tipping that round the post. Dennehy, you could see him lower his body weight and just try to turn onto that left peg that he likes shooting on so much. O'Connell, one thing I like about O'Connell, he's got the height and the reach for a keeper. Always fills me with a bit more confidence having someone like that, and tips it round the post when he needed to.
Yeah, just reaching into the corner with those long levers of his. The most dangerous moment of the match today, and they've got themselves a corner to come here, the Strikers. Jolivet thumped away by Lakoseljac. Layway, he'll go back to last. And looks up and he'll just ping it right back from whence it came. It'll up my best position, heads it clear. Nodded forward towards Tolliver, but couldn't make anything work. And now back the other way comes Tebaget. Oh, lost his footing and coughed it up to Tolliver. Now Layway, who skips inside with some skill, and he's fouled from behind by Biong. Clipped cynically, and will that be the first slice of cheese of the afternoon? He's going to receive a talking to Biong. He'll be very fortunate if that's all it was. That seemed the definition of a professional foul to me. And Compra keeps his card in his pocket.
Well, it's technically probably his third foul as well, which is about the time that you can even get accumulation in there. But look at this opportunity here for the Devonport Strikers. 22 yards out on a slight angle. We'll see what they've got from their free kick takers. Biong, he gets about the park a fair bit. You would not want him to be on a slice of cheese this early on in the game.
Looks like it's going to be Brodie Dennehy to take. The Strikers veteran, so much experience, so many of those memorable cup finals he's been involved in. Scored some key goals in that time too. Brodie Dennehy. He's got Bates just off to the right. Will he take the shot on himself? Big moment. It's Dennehy! It's O'Connell who stretches and clasps it and leaves no rebound.
Great work collecting that first time there from O'Connell. Plenty of Strikers players chasing that one up, but you mentioned how free Bates was on the right-hand side. That's where my eyes were taken to. I know the player on the end of the wall there is meant to run out, but it seemed like a pretty good opportunity there. Dennehy still with the shot on target, though. That one just slightly out of the reach of Badger, who tips Jolivet and concedes the foul. Kingborough they're certainly not afraid to put their bodies about here in this first half. A couple of the challenges a little late, but if you're Coach John Fennick, you'd be happy with how much the team seems up for it. We obviously saw in the Women's Statewide Cup game a goal after 18 seconds. Kingborough have been on it from the starters pit, with Eli Wright charging into the box. Badger wants it at the back stick, hands next to each other from the Strikers defender. Can't give that handball as Brady last forward towards Courage Loway now. Tolliver, Bates. Looking for options further forward as Isaac Bates finds it. Courage Loway gets it back. Biong there. In through to Tolliver, and that one ends up back with him after the shot, and he scoops it. And it goes out for a goal kick. I'm not sure if Tolliver was expecting that to get to him, but that looked like a gilt-edged chance.
Oh, a glorious opportunity. Should surely be 1-0 Strikers. Player of Tolliver's quality, you expect him to just bury this. It was beautiful build-up play. It was cut back on a platter for him. With the goals at his mercy, he just couldn't get enough conviction on the shots. And a bullet dodge for the Lions there. It was a wonderful attacking move. Courage Layway combining with Isaac Bates. It really should be 1-0 to the Strikers. So they'll go forward again via Sheen, combining with Dennehy, but the return ball is broken up by Vidal.
That looks an even better chance on the replay than I was alluding to there with Tolliver. That is where you want your striker. 8 yards out, in front of goal. He had an avenue to sneak it in at the near post. Just did not get the purchase.
An opportunity goes begging. First clear chance of the final. Tolliver goes down, and Copra, well, he's been consistent early on. He's been telling the players to get up. They're getting away with a bit, but he's not having any time for theatrics, is Mr. Copra. He set that tone very early. I'm unimpressed by a couple of times players have looked accentuate contact. I think Tolliver did cop some, but Probably heard his own case for a free kick by exaggerating it so much, I suspect.
A few people asking Brenton Copra for some extra interpretation on that decision as well.
Yeah, well, I think it was there. I think Brenton just seems to be setting that standard early on. Don't play for free kicks. I'm not going to give them away.
Yeah, Connor Park and Jolivet asking the question in that brief stoppage. Lakoseljac's ball, he got underneath that one. Barton will comfortably head that clear. It's the last 5 to 7 minutes. The game starting to ratchet up another notch in terms of tempo. Both sides careful not to concede early, perhaps wary of that game earlier today. And Kingborough happy to recycle it out through the left where Tebajay has a one-on-one, skips inside, doesn't have a great deal of help. Looking for Badger, ends up going back to Biong. McShane thought about creating the run, but instead they opt to go out wide through Vidal. Right back. Gets it back. A little touch from Biong to Lakoseljac. Skipping inside, and again, no foul given. This time, Badger straight back up to his feet. Again, no foul for that one there, and then right, now in space. Oh, that's a well-timed challenge there from Toby Barton. Badger again, actually, on that far side. He is everywhere, and this time, advantage is paid, but the foul was noticed, charging into the box. Toll doesn't quite get the shot off as Courage Layway will now pick it up. Tolliver waiting. 4 players back for the Lions. Got the cross in. And plenty of time there, but that was a good opportunity there from Tolliver on the advantage.
Yeah, really well defended by Hugo Schwartz there. Just stuck with the run, was patient, didn't dive in. Then when the shot was coming, got the foot out into the shooting lane. Expertly done by Hugo, who started this game nicely. Eli Lutma back in defence. The Strikers just had the better of the last few minutes. The first half that's ebbed and flowed a little bit. Strikers probably just shading things, but anyone's game. So we wait for the opening goal of the contest. Half an hour here, an intriguing cup final developing. Badger kept it in, looking to combine with Wright, and Badger's pulled up a bit proppy too. That'll be a concern as Wright goes around the outside. Can he get a cross in here? He can't, but he does win a corner. Badger getting back to his feet. It's good to see for the Lions' sake. Certainly wouldn't want to be losing him. Lakoseljac across to take this one. Bring 5 into the penalty area for this one. Lakoseljac picks someone out. The centre backs Lutma and Schwartz. Joining Tevajay. Pitt running near post. Looks for Lutma! Rose and headed it, but it was comfortable for Harper.
Harper thought about playing it early to Connor Park, who was storming down the right-hand side. Not quite, obviously, playing in centre-back here today, Park. We have seen him throughout a good portion of his career with the Strikers on the right-hand side of defence. Barton. Exchanging passes with Bates, who's dropping a little deeper to get the ball, and that's a wonderful searching ball to Van Utigam. He's charging into the box. Courage Layway at the top of there wanting it, but that's good defence from the Lions. No free kick yet called, and Brenton Copra eventually calls it. Vidal getting his body in the way, preventing another good attack from Devonport, but they're just starting to find a bit of space, particularly between the centre halves and the fullbacks. Kingborough coming back to defend well. Yeah, it's going to be slightly concerning for Coach John Fennick.
That was the ball was Barton, I think, who just pinged that one up the pitch. Superbly played, unlocked them for a minute. Vidal doing well. A good advantage paid by Copra there. I thought for a second he was going to call the shirt grab, but it was just waiting to see if they could get a counter-attack away before bringing it back. As the Lions now trying to build down the left via McShane. Tebajay will have a run here and try and sneak in behind, but his path blocked off by Layway. Over the top, Layway jumps over the top. A little spinning elbow on the ball in the end. Lakoseljac Cycles to the skipper. Lutmer. He pulls the ball down for Badger, but his touch was heavy into the path of Van Nuytgen. Now, Brody Dennehy. They'll just keep a hold of the football, show a little bit of patience. Will the Strikers. They probe away. Jolivet. Van Nuytgen. Van Nuytgen, he'll cut it back. It was blocked off by Lutmer. It's another corner for the Strikers. Starting to find a few holes at the back in recent moments.
The game's starting to spread out a little bit more here as we've gone past the half-hour mark. Strikers with another corner, and it's all Timber striding forward. Park and Barton. You imagine their battles at both ends with Lutmer and Schwartz. There's signal given. Cross goes in towards the centre. O'Connell got something of it with Park lurking. This time coming in from Bates. Charged down and cleared by Schwartz. Corners not got too much distance on them. No one really heading towards the far post. A lot of near post stuff so far in this game.
Plenty of traffic in front of O'Connell there was the keys. He tried to fight his way to the ball. He just found access to it a little difficult. So that's surely going to be, I was going to say, a foul on Van Nuytgen. It's rolled behind by Van Nuytgen on his opposite number rather. It rolls behind for a goal kick. But in that battle between the two number 17s at the moment, we're down Van Nuytgen. We're scrapping away as Schwartz looks up. Didn't really have anything on too far ahead of him, so went to McShane to roll it through for Pitt, who timed his run well. The flag stays down. Pitt now is going to try and turn back inside. He rolls it through. Teberger, but out comes Harper, sliding out. Strikers' defence looking pretty well organised at the moment. Lions not opening up too many holes at the back right now. Then Nuytgen turns into a bit of trouble. Coughed it up to Badger. He's right. Lakoseljac sets a task for Pitt in a one-on-one with Barton, who just stretches out and puts it out of play.
Yeah, I'm finding Lions where they're attacking rather interesting. Is I don't think there's been really anything where they've tried to attack between Barton and Park, like right down the centre. There's not been much attack through there at all. Obviously, you wouldn't go down there aerially, but I just find it interesting that they haven't really tried too many slide balls centrally from Beyong or Lakoseljac coming up. It's been very much Badger and Wright down one side, and Pitt and Teberger down the other. As they'll go down the right-hand side. Again, this time that one over the head of Harper, and he'll comfortably collect. Lays it off short. Bit of the sun in the eyes there for Isaac Bates. And sort of this area of the park I was just referring to before. Strikers start their moves there and then split wide, but Kingborough really attacked through there at all as the Strikers now through the grandstand side. Sliding in and collecting the player late, but nothing given there. Badger, well, he's taking a few fouls and certainly putting some in as well. There's Joel Badger. Van Nuytgen, this time looking for Tolove. Lutmer, safety first. 10 minutes left in this first half. We thought it might be a cagey affair, and certainly turning out that way as Brendan Copper calls the foul and relieves some of the pressure for the Lions.
Yeah, certainly a little bit stodgy. Last 15 or 20, the best chance of the game went the way of the Strikers. Joshua Tolove, a glorious chance. Close range, just couldn't get the contact he was after. It probably looked slightly more dangerous than the Lions in the balance of play, but could be one of those cup finals where just that one moment someone sees is the difference. Teberger was well out of play. Badger unable to keep it in, just switching up flanks for the time being. So Brody last. Well, take his time with the throw. Brendan Copper had the whistle in the mouth, was about to...
We still hasn't done his shoelaces up either, which is what I was checking.
Yeah, wild. Here's Eli Wright. He's going to have to wait for some support to arrive. He might go himself, though. Eli Wright fakes the shot, pulls it back. Tabaget! Oh, what a block! Sliding in. It was Bates who saves the day. It was a great move, similar to the one that they opened the scoring with against South Hobart. Savage seemingly with the goal at his mercy, and from the clouds, the sliding block from Bates, tracking back the midfielder, has saved a certain goal there.
That's hit the underside of his calf, and if it hasn't hit that, I'm not sure Tager Harper would have had much of a chance of even seeing it. It was hit with such power by the Lions, and that was the right ball. We mentioned that was trying to catch up to the play. The cutback to the penalty spot was the option. Great pass from Wright. Now we see the Kingborough Lions with another chance to keep piling on the pressure. Shipping that one in. Harper and Barton managed to deal with it. Biong. Well, there we go down centrally. An acrobatic clearance again from Barton. Now, what can Courage Layaway do? Plenty of real estate in front of him. He slipped over the ball a few times, and Eli Lutmer, incredulous that decision's been given against him, probably compared to some of the other fouls and non-fouls called throughout this first half.
Yeah, a little surprising that one was blown, given some of what's been let go. That was the main thing you ask from a referee is consistency. We've had that so far. As McShane take the throw. Lions looking to close out this half strongly after the Strikers had probably had the better of proceedings. Lions again just looking to lift, try and find the lead before the half-time break. One clear scoring chance each, really. And now the Strikers through Layway, who turned into the middle and found Dennehy. Dennehy charging towards the box, still going Brody Dennehy, Eventually he's boxed out. It was really nicely defended. Ooh. A bit of a scrap, some afters there too. Coffer's going to have to sort that out.
I mean, Brody Dennehy has a long and distinguished career in this company. That might be the most Brody Dennehy run I've ever seen Brody Dennehy do. That was him to an absolute T. And then a little bit of afters after the fact. Brenton Cropper again with the don't do that again that he gave Forgot Biong earlier.
Vidal on the receiving end on that occasion, who defended the situation really well in the end.
For those who may not have seen a lot of Strikers over the past 10 years, Brody Dennehy also quite a good forward pocket in the overball game, and I think that little sequence of play there fit that style perfectly.
Jolivet takes them forward. Van Nuttigem cuts it back straight to Lutmer though. Now Jolivet. Van Nuttigem, here's Courage Layway rising, but well defended by Schwartz. Bates! Saved one at the other end, trying to make something happen in attack. And now the counter might be on for the Lions, although a little isolated was Pitt and Barton. Just parked back there just to pick it off.
Courage Layway getting plenty of the ball. And there we are again, firing that one in to McShane. Has a very interesting style of going for the header, as that's about two that appear more like some kind of off-the-top rope spinning elbow WWE style when jumping for a header. It's two we've seen so far today.
He's all action, isn't he?
He certainly is. It's not the cleanest heading technique I've ever seen, but he's certainly had plenty of the ball, and I've also liked that he hasn't been afraid to track back. McShane's been very hesitant to come forward from left back as well throughout this half. As now down this wing is Badger. First time we've really seen him down the left. It's a good challenge there from Bates. Courage gets the 1-2 off Tolliver and keeps going. Two forward for the Strikers. Dennehy's one of them. Van Nuttigem at the back post. Layway has no real help whatsoever, so it probably does well to win a throw-in on that occasion. It's very much a one-on-one battle down in that corner at the moment.
And we've seen a lot of it. The ball continuing to find its way to him, and he's taking the match on and the defence on at every possible opportunity. Last now, swinging it in, and it's headed just wide by Tolliver. Did well to get his head to it. Just couldn't quite angle it back enough, but a dangerous moment. Just wide of the post as we tick towards half-time. Still awaiting the opening goal of this cup final. Everything's been knocking on the door.
I've certainly seen a lot more dour nil-alls in the first half in Tasmanian football down the years. It's not been, both teams do like to keep possession a little bit round the back, but there hasn't been a great deal of that as Eli Wright goes up against Sheen.
Yeah, it feels like a goal is coming at some point. It'd be shocking if it would end 0-0 if it keeps going at this pace.
I'm not getting a Socceroos friendly vibe, nil-all type from this game. Let's put it that way. There you go.
Going to be Park now. Through the middle, Bates. Gets the better of two of them in the end, and he's cutting right through the middle of the park here. Bates rolled it to Tolliver. Tolliver didn't really catch his shot as he would have liked. It was cleared away by the Lions defence once more.
Yeah, that's not quite gone to where Tager up initially was, but it was probably just looked worse from up here in the scaffolding than it was down below. Devonport, 2 minutes to play, assuming there's 1 minute stoppage time. Trying to find a lead before the break as Lakoseljac and Vidal managed to walk well. Brendan Copper is not calling that a push in the back based on previous interactions in this first half, and that's good work from Tolliver. Still has 3 players up ahead, one of whom's Dennehy. Dennehy gets the cross in over the head. Courage layaway. He's got 2 Lions players in front of him as Alex over the ground announcer telling us there is 1 minute of time. Beyond getting the shoulder in. He's all over him, and that's surely a drag back. And Beyond thought about having a little bit of a don't you hold on to me any longer, and just pulled away at the crucial moment. Copper giving.
O'Connell just wants the game to get on with, and Copper had not given permission to restart.
He hadn't even finished the big do not do that arm stroke yet, as O'Connell sends that one down the pitch.
Which will now allow the Strikers defence to get themselves back and set, but he was never going to be able to take that one. The confidence was happening right under his nose, but Copper just trying to put a lid on things here as we tick in the final minute of the half. It's Beyond. Involved in a couple of little scuffles early on here. Plenty of feeling out there in this one. The stakes are high. Both teams know one moment could make all the difference. Badger has been pretty well held in this half. Can he produce the moment of magic we know he's capable of? That's a dangerous looking ball. The return just missed him, but the danger not yet passed as Wright skips into the box. Tebajay! Blocked, was it with an arm? No, says Brenton Copra, although the AR is sprinting in here.
It's called half-time.
And the half-time whistle has gone. What a flashpoint to end the half. Eli Wright twice has charged him down the right, caused moments more panic. And a real decision there on the half-time whistle that had to be made. Arm tight enough to the body, you reckon, Paul Hunt?
It's one of these ones where, I reckon 5 years ago, there's absolutely not in a Bulls Roy you'd ever call that, but with VAR and slow-mo that we've seen in the Premier League over the past couple of years, the handball's getting ever so much more called, and I'll put it this way, in a local league it's probably a no, in a Premier League it's probably a yes.
Well, what a moment that would have been right on half-time. Tebajay twice has been denied by shot blocks. The second one maybe a little questionably. I'd have to have a look at the replay. Good luck to EREF making that goal in real time, but the Lions come close to breaking through to end the half. Before that, the Strikers had a couple of good looks themselves. Joshua Tolliver probably should have put them 1-0 ahead. It's been a pretty even battle. Both teams have had their moments. No one's been able to take a chance, but it's not been through a lack of intent. A pretty good first half, that one, for mine, Paul.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree. Played with a good intensity. No one trying to play slow-moving possession football round the back. Much more back and forward. Probably a big.
We've made some new hires. Ooh.
Introducing Macca's Korean Barbecue Dunk Range.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Anyway, we'll be back shortly with that for you. disagree with that, Tal.
Yeah.
We've just given a nice 2 minutes on how not cagey it's been. I even described it as not a Socceroos friendly.
There's been chances.
Yeah, it's been a lot of chances. Kingborough said they're not taking.
This is why it can't be cagey. Cagey's where it's staunch.
I thought cagey was more just
Are you round at the Kingborough fans?
defence.
Are you round at the Kingborough?
Yeah, I am. And guess what they've got? They've got smoke bombs. Like to play.
Is that in preparation for a goal?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's less annoying than that air horn Devonport's got. It sounds like a car, right?
Yeah, I know, but like, does the secondary keeper have to hand out all 10 of them?
Okay, that is quite funny.
Like, this could be next front line.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say front line.
Yeah.
So, like,
They didn't went to the venue with stickers overnight, so they're not allowed.
actually,
Bloody cup final.
Yeah,
They got them to spin.
And what's funny about it as well is they're not actual smoke bombs, they're like gender reveal bombs. So,
just a little light.
yeah,
like,
no, it's
almost the kind of lush
Yeah.
bath bomb type, not even the.
well, sort of. I mean, I don't really know. Like,
They haven't bought them from BCF, let's put it that way.
a little bit down, right? So I don't really know like how it works.
Yeah. Plugged in on this end.
Yeah, we'll charge.
All right. Okay.
All right, yeah. First dip on that one, Colt now.
Yes,
We might
there
have
we
the
go.
second half, which is possible.
Yeah.
A little extra time. I think it was
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
There was nothing in that penalty.
Oh, really?
There was absolutely nothing. It was his elbow.
Okay. Yeah, we had half of the field, but they're not like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Trust me, it'd be next to all 5 of the UFC portal.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like saying, "Shut up, Valentine! It was a penalty." Like, okay, it's on the move. Gotta love it. Surely there's no other state that would have a coach win a cup final in one game and then coaching another cup final in the next game.
Yeah, it is a very Tasmanian phenomenon, I must say. But, you know, we've paid the big bucks. I don't mean paid at all.
Man, you're right about the crowd, mate. It is quite disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's passable, but I really thought it would be a bit more.
Both. It's grown since the women's one. I thought the women's one, I know it was Devonport Strikers, well, that was a bit light. It seemed fine.
So it's about expected for the Northern team against the Southern team?
Yeah. It's
The real big crowds are when you go two Southern teams.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's always good.
That night's Olympian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. That was a fun
Oscar Thomas, wasn't it? Did he do it? Or did he get the equaliser?
No, it was different here.
Ah,
The South.
that's right.
I may have Yeah, I don't want a nicknameable last name these days, I must say. I mean, when you say Jollibay, Tollivay and Layway next to each other, it sounds like you're singing Lay years or something. But like, nothing really else.
Does feel a bit league.
Yeah, just like, we're just reading out the law.
Premier League.
The law.
Atmosphere over there is immense. Oh my god.
Is that a road Devonport dancing over there, by the way? Or are they just swapped ends?
Yeah, just what dance.
Okay. That's not very polite. Swapping ends at half time.
Very cool.
It's, you're not getting that from there.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
Nah. I mean, fight halfway.
I went to watch Marseille versus Lyon a couple of years ago. And it was so good.
Stay Marseille?
No, Lyon's one. Red Palmer.
like stadium where you can't walk there.
It was bizarre. I had pre-game in the paddock.
Oh.
Bloke just chucking, I don't know what the meat was, but it was good. He was
Yeah.
cooking something on an open flame.
Wild boar.
Oh, baby. I think it was
Where was that, Jim?
South Africa.
Oh, South Africa.
It's not very explained in Rustenburg, which is like the most remote of all the stadiums.
Game's 40 minutes, like,
Charge bloody
yeah. And then I've been in local CBS or NBC. I saw one on Patriots playoff. You got
Who do you think's going to win it, Andrew? I don't think Spain, because I really don't know who else.
I think France are comfortably the deepest squad.
Yep.
Got a couple of injuries, though.
I don't think it matters so much, but
Oh,
I don't know. If I'd love to pick Portugal, I just think they're going to play Ronaldo up
Yeah.
top, and it's
the team didn't exist. They would make the semis with their eyes closed.
I just think it doesn't suit that squad. I think 2 major tournaments in a row has been an issue, and again they enter a major tournament with a 41-year-old up top.
But will he actually be starting, though? Or
Look, if you
okay.
don't start him, you'll have a cry. Like, I hate to use a high school phrase, but I literally think
Oh,
you'll
no,
have
I remember. Yeah.
I think you'll just...
Yeah.
I think midfield is superb. They're the best midfield in the tournament, but
Oh, Bruno playing in a slower paced league in the Premier League. He can just do whatever he wants. He'd be like Doy in the women's game. That would be Bruno at the World Cup if Ronaldo didn't exist.
PSG fans,
48 nations. One of them.
I am
Ronaldo Silva.
Yeah. Well, they've let down a lot of talent. Good for England. No Foden.
They're third favourites.
Wow.
They're shocking. They do well. They should do.
I mean, I'm not saying they will get knocked out. Good, but like,
Oh, God, that'd be funny.
I mean,
Is Croatia go and get another dark horse run in the major tournament?
At least Australia actually have a chance to advance now to third place in the area too. It's crap, isn't it? It's so shit.
Just so much jeopardy removed from the world stage. Yeah. No good.
Guy.
Most important thing. Let's go. Till 3 points, that's... Yep. Very close to 4.
So we're back for the second half here at KG5. This 2026 Lakoseljac Cup Final. The Strikers out first in their positions, raring to go. They were nearly down. A couple of late chances for the Lions there. Before that, though, Strikers probably should have opened the scoring. It was a pretty even first half. Strikers shaded the first 30 minutes or so. Lions had the better of the back end of it. Can anyone find the breakthrough in the second half? We're about to find out. 0-0 after 45. It's just had the scent of a goal about it this game. It's yet to come, but surely someone must break the stalemate. We're about to find out as Lakoseljac playing in the competition, known for his grandfather, will kick things off here in the second half, and Paul Hunt will get us going here on the live stream.
We're certainly seeing the more back to the keeper kick and rush new kick-off style here rather than the kick it out and pen him in style earlier. As Brendan Copperell looks at his watch to get us underway here as O'Connell heaves this one forward. It's like it's the 90th minute already. As Dennehy gets underneath that one. Back to Vidal. Lakoseljac. Lutmer takes the bobbling ball and gives it a whack up top. Badger. Back towards Biong. Biong again. Doesn't look like there's been any changes here at half-time by either side. Nothing announced over the PA, and certainly can't see any to the eye from up here in the scaffolding as Shane gets that one forward. Kingborough Lakoseljac has time to turn. Thought about going out wide, but plays it back off to Vidal. Biong gets there. Tries the slide rule ball. And Kingborough, well, we were commenting just before half-time, Andrew, not a great deal of possession. They might do this style of football once or twice, but Kingborough interested if they've had a chat in the sheds, and John Fenwick said let's try and keep the ball a little bit longer as Biong gets past one, stays on the ground, advantage paid, yes. And eventually cut out by Devonport. Surprised that one wasn't pulled back. It didn't seem like the greatest advantage of all time. Lakoseljac thought about the shirt pull on Tolivate. This time Biong gets there. Doesn't get the ball on this occasion. Appeals to the referee. And after he's talking to in the first half, I'd almost expect this to be the first slice of cheese.
It's got to be. He's reaching into his pocket. And there it is, Jolivate. He clipped the leg. He's always going to pay that one. He's already on a warning. He was in full stride and he just got him from behind. I mean, it's as straightforward a decision as you'll see, I reckon, that one. Probably not the worst foul to give, given he had a head of steam running towards the goals, but now has to walk that disciplinary tightrope in the second half, does Begat Biong, and he's certainly been putting himself about and putting himself in challenges in the game so far, so That'll be a big watch. Maybe eventually a decision for the manager. But for now, a set piece to defend, and Ivan Jolivet standing over the dead ball. Plenty of bodies up there for the Strikers. Jolivet to deliver. It's a great ball, and it's in the back of the net. It's not at home, and it's Connor Park. Is it unlikely? The unlikely hero, but the Strikers have broken through.
Didn't seem like the greatest free kick you're ever going to see in your life, but Connor Park has managed to twist and contort himself to get that one on target. He's run in front of his other teammates, so his teammates almost cleared the area, sort of NBA style, and Connor Park left unmarked, running through, and puts that one in the corner. And an unlikely hero, O'Connell, well, he couldn't quite get across to his ground, but Devonport with an early second half goal.
Huge. Well, we didn't think we'd go goalless again. We've not had to wait long. First chance of the second half. A beautiful delivery, too, from Ivan Jolivet. You've got to say, put that into a perfect spot. And Connor Park rises and nods home. And now the Strikers with a lead. And they're looking to get on the attack immediately. Land another blow here. Courage bearing down on this one. Can he get there before McShane? Not quite. Gets across. Layway battling on, wins the throw.
Those Devonport fans are up and about on that far side. The fans at half-time, when they had a rather processional changing of sides. So Devonport now attacking this goal, which is why there was plenty of noise after that one went in, as Van Utigam gets that one back to Last, who's gone a bit further forward, and Bates harmlessly hits that one into the cricket nets. And anyone at home potentially worried about that sun or muttering about it, you've got about 5 minutes left before it goes, so we'll have pretty good pitches in about 5 minutes. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, first time I've needed a hat of the game for a while as Jolivet slides it through. Jolivet, some room to manoeuvre here for the striker. He pulls the trigger and it deflects just wide of the mark. Wasn't far away. O'Connell just had to stand and watch that one trickle past. And the Strikers have come firing out of the blocks, and the Lions just looking like they're still in the change rooms right now.
Well, there was just this wide open expanse in the middle of the KG5 football. They seem to miss all their defensive midfielders there at the moment, Kingborough Lions, and just allow Tolliver all the room in the world in the middle of the park, which we did not see for a second in that first half, as Jolivet towards the back stick and just over the head of his intended target. That's Tolliver it was. But yeah, Strikers. Well, if Kingborough came out with some of the instruction, a bit more possession, I think Strikers' instruction was push further forward and just keep going, because they have started the second half like a house on fire. Courage Layway again getting in there, and Van Utigam thought about going back to Courage, but eventually the Lions manage to clear it out. And can they get in their own half for the first time? Not on this occasion, as Tolliver Last ran into a Lions sandwich and desperately trying to track back, and gets there at the second time of asking.
Real intensity about the Strikers play right now. They are buzzing about the pitch, flying in to close players down. Suddenly they've got a little bit of spring in their step, and the Lions can get their foot on the ball and settle things down a tad here. Suddenly chasing this game, but it's the Strikers making the running early in the second half. Trying to do all himself there was Jolivet, as this one's cleared away. Pitt, Badger just overran it slightly. He's having his jumper grab there, and that'll be a free kick the way of the Lions. He wants to take it quickly. He does so. Now Pitt will try and swing it in, but Young will have this land in his path. He's under pressure from Last. He's slung a boot at it and didn't catch it at all as he intended. Feed it back across the face, so a goal kick only.
Some of that intensity, I think, is coming from Tom Ballantyne, who we saw in the women's game barely moved. Didn't see too much of him in the first half. This second half, he has stood up the entire time and spent most of it outside his box, as we see the first light smoke bomb behind Tager Harper here. Not the most intense piece of smoke I've ever seen. There's Harper launches the goal kick as the lights start to take effect here at KG5. As Wright running at the Devonport defence. Dennehy thought about a shirt pull and then was heading into the 18-yard box, and Eli Wright not happy with himself at all with that shot. Finally some attacking intent from Kingborough after a very slow first 7 minutes from them.
They've looked their most dangerous when it's been Wright running into the box. The two chances they had, the two shot blocks on Deberge, were a result of Wright bursting into that box down the right-hand side and cutting back. So I think they'll be looking to utilise that a fair bit here as Lakoseljac can thread it across to Badger. Badger to Young. Pass was charged down, and now some room here for Tolliver, who spied O'Connell. I didn't think he was that far off his line anyway.
He wasn't.
He wasn't. Certainly didn't catch it in any manner to test him, had he been?
No, look, not the greatest purchase in the first place, but O'Connell, by the time Tolliver looked up, was already between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, so would have taken some beating as Tolliver manages to get his head to that, but Newdigam judged offside. Interesting. Tolliver stays down. Courage Lewe thought it was cramp. Whitmore asking, is it cramp? Tolliver holding what looks like his left hip. A little corky there. Can always hurt.
Yeah, don't be cramp at this stage. His teammate kind of made that assumption. It's like, don't stretch it out. It's not cramp. I've just landed awkwardly. So Lutmer, the Lions, of course, led in the semi-final. Saw that lead evaporate, doing it the hard way in penalties. Different assignment here today. They're the ones who'll be chasing the game. They've got the firepower to do so. Noah Mees on the bench if they want to head in that direction. I wonder when we might see him. Looks like Greg Downs is being prepared to come on along with Noah Mees over on the Lions bench. So Fenwick seemingly ready to pull a double switch here to try and spark his team. I wonder if that was planned earlier or whether the goal has just accelerated things there.
I reckon this is if I'm to take a guess, the 70th minute sub that's now happening in the 55th would be my guess.
So Lakoseljac's going to come off for Greg Downs. Noel Mees also being prepped. Teberge, so that's an interesting one.
I mean, you've essentially got three wingers with Teberge, Pitt and Wright, so you've probably got to take one of them off if you're bringing Mees on.
I imagine he goes centrally. Just give him that extra target, a bit more of an aerial presence perhaps.
I reckon Downs is going to sit the deepest and they'll move beyond a bit further up, would be my guess.
Maybe with that yellow card, that might also be part of the thinking. Doesn't get put in as many difficult defensive decisions if he's playing slightly more advanced. Proactive manager there. Not going to sit back and die wondering, although they might die from turnovers. That's really sloppy. A chance now for Tolliver as he turns into the box. He fires. O'Connell, Dennehy heads over the top on the rebound. It was an instinctive stop from O'Connell, but it went right back to the lurking Dennehy. He just couldn't keep it down.
Well, at least he didn't sort of softball it to Dennehy there on that occasion, O'Connell. It did come at it with plenty of power. It didn't allow Dennehy to get that spring up off to put any power behind the head up. Thought about a foul after the play. Oliver has stayed down as Downs gets his first meaningful touch of this match. Heavy touch from last, but he'll keep going. And Newdigam. Oh, that one well cut out for Dow, and then coming across as Downs. And I mean, I would have given that a foul, but in keeping with the rest of the game, it's probably not under the way referee Brendan Copper is seeing this one.
Oliver is furious he didn't get a free kick moments ago, and he has just marched up to Brendan Copper and shared his thoughts, it's fair to say, with that lack of a decision. So, along with it, the message from the referees, they will work it forward, and Jolivet now has the ball. He's the Lions to beat, and he goes looking for that one, and the referee is going to come across here, and he's going to issue a yellow card to the Badger.
It's probably been, I'd say that's more accumulation. It wasn't the stiffest foul you're ever going to see, but between a bit of some of the challenges in the first half, a bit of the talk in this second half, I mean, I almost thought for a second he might have was thinking Jolivet for the dive, but I'm thinking surely not from up here.
There did appear to be a bit of contact.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact from up here. The way Goldbrook sort of came in, I'm like, surely not.
Well, he certainly makes sure the referee knows that he feels he's been fouled, the way he puts himself about Jolivet, but he was definitely fouled there. And he delivered a delightful free kick to open scoring earlier in this half. Can he repeat the dose here? It'll be Jolivet swinging it in, away by Mies, and then Badger just volleys it up in the air, back in though by Bates. The flag is raised. And he didn't get enough to test O'Connell regardless. O'Connell wants to go quickly. And it's a good ball up towards Mies, but Barton with authority came across. Vidal. Badger. Now McShane. He's looking for Beyong. It's a good ball. Courage flying across, but lost his footing. Beyong from range. Skies it over the stand.
Just checking that's not gone near my car. That's how far over that one was. And I did enjoy Greg Downs just before Jolivet going down a little bit quickly after Downs clearly won the ball and just gave him a big, hey, I'm here now, don't you do that around me, which I particularly enjoyed from the experienced midfielder in Greg Downs. He's plenty of experience both here and abroad to this Kingborough lineup. Had plenty of years of the lower divisions in the UK before returning home. There's Lutmer. Beyong had to get rid of that one quickly, and the curve going the wrong way, but managed to be kept in. And for Kingborough, we've mentioned the pace of this game. There is still half an hour left. It's not quite kitchen sink, 85th minute time yet. They've still got time to keep possession and work their way from side to side if they wish, as particularly now with Mies up top, going to a lineup we probably saw a lot more last year from Kingborough rather than this year. Mies has been on the bench, or started on the bench for most of the last 4 to 5 games, including that semi-final, as I thought that was a shirt pull by Pitt on last, but not Gold, and Park, currently the goal-scoring hero, launches that one clear and out for a throw.
Well, of course, in the semi-final, South Hobart scored that goal in the 99th minute against Kingborough, so they'll be well aware there's still a lot of ball game left in this one. One moment they can get back on terms, but the Strikers always been a very good side playing with a lead. A well-drilled unit at the back. They're going to be hard to break down. They'll time waste where they can, I'm sure. Trying to make sure that the Lions don't get too many opportunities to get back in it. They've certainly got the firepower at their disposals to find a leveller. Beyong puts Lutmer under some pressure here. He goes back to O'Connell. Dennehy pressing up on him. Badger against Barton. Barton just leans over the top of him. Want it down to Leyway. Well done by McShane. Beyong. It's not the ball Noah Mies was looking for. And the time wasting already begun here from Harper.
Let's count the seconds for this one. Oh no, he got rid of that one in quick enough time. He did all the time wasting before picking the ball up. Connor Park. Beyong. Getting more around the ball now. He's had a bit more license to go side to side, Beyong, and the chip ball out wide to Dennehy. Dennehy will keep it in. Jolivet gives the return ball to Shane, who not fouled on this occasion. Jolivet gets his body in front, and Barton and Park call for the reset. Well, great amount of pressure on Toby Barton at the moment. He's allowed to sort of pick off the pass. Lutmer reading that one in the defence, and a real nothing ball forward from the Lions. And I'm saying John Fennick is at the edge of his technical area. If I was him, I'd be just trying to point out that you've got time. You don't need to play the killer through ball every single time. As Beyong now going to line up the shot. This one on the ground took a deflection, and Harper just about keeps that in. No one charging him down yet. He's going to use all this 20 seconds, and Mies with the fresh legs with the player obliged.
Customary fall on top of the ball. But yeah, just approaching the last few minutes from the Lions beyond. He's tried a couple of kind of the hero balls, if you will, just trying to launch the killer ball. I just think they need to feed the likes of Eli Wright and have them trying to run into the box. That's where they've had probably 3 chances in this game. They've all come as a result of that. Wingers running into the box. I just think that's the approach. Just not quite at send-it type stage of the match just yet. Then Nugent across to Leaway. Last teasing ball, which has O'Connell scrambling, but just floats a little too far.
Yeah, so from here, I mean, Eli Wright closest to us has got a fair bit of space, and they can also go out the grandstand side, which is where they're going. And so you can get up to halfway pretty easily, and with skills like that from Badger, you can get past one. He's got Park to aim at. Badger charging into the box. Oh, what a challenge from Connor Park. He scored the goal and potentially just about saved one. That was a great run from Badger.
Oh, it was an incredible run, and it's an even better challenge there from Connor Park. You get that a millisecond wrong, and that's a penalty. He had to time that perfectly, and he did. Badger tearing into the box at speed, and from about half a metre behind him, he slides, wraps the boot round, and probably saves a goal. Enormous from Connor Park. The Lions, though, with a corner here. It's swung in. And that'll be comfortable for Harper. It was far too central.
It was a good run from Eli Lutmer, as he did manage to get goal side of the Strikers player, but it was just delivered too flat. And whilst Harper isn't the tallest keeper, he's going to come out and claim that just about every time.
Lions, their best moment of the half there as Badger was able to tear into the box. He was pretty well held in the first half. We know he's capable of that sort of stuff. They need to be feeding him and Wright and get them running at this Strikers defence. So they look to protect the lead. That's a pretty good challenge with the boot from Downs. Unfortunately fouled in the lead up with the arms. Timed the slide pretty well, but definitely fouling Solivet in the process, and allow Jolivet a chance to send another ball in from a not too dissimilar position to where the opening goal came from.
Pretty similar as well, and yeah, it's always easy to win the ball as a defender when you've physically got hold of the other player and can just manipulate them wherever you want. So another good call from Brenton Copper, and he's just letting the Strikers know I am starting to count the seconds, and conveniently doing your shoe up at that particular moment from Tollivet. As Jolivet go back to the head of Connor Park that worked so well the first time. Goes in that direction, and Lutmer manages to rise. O'Connell gets there before the aforementioned Connor Park. He manages to stay inside the 18-yard box.
Momentum nearly carried him out there as he heaves it across to right. He looks up. He'll try and spring it over the top. He's got Badger and Pitt bursting forward, and Badger will take the throw. More intent in the last few minutes about the Lions. Chasing this match. Can they find an equaliser? Here's the captain, Lutmer. Steers it in towards Pitt. Brings it down. Didn't have anything really around him in support, so he just rolls it back to McShane. Biong. Plenty of bodies in the box, but Courage Layway charged it down. And it'll roll through. It's a little soft, though, but really good work rate from the striker there in Salivate. He sends it across. This is building nicely. Van Nunegem running at Lutmer. Left it behind. Here we go again. And Eli Lutmer doggedly sticking to it. Eventually it's crossed in, headed away by Schwarz. Soliday shielding the ball, turning with it. Pass it straight into Brenton Copra. And he gets a defensive block there. This is Copra.
New Bronx cheers from the Devonport faithful behind the goal. Assuming that was, they're assuming it was going to one of their players. And we get to see an uncontested drop ball. Not that you can have a contested one these days. Jolivet out wide to Layway. On his heels a little bit, but managed to make up ground. Straight into McShane. And now, finally have a bit of pace from Joel Badger. Has Mees available on the inside and just about sprints around last. Keeps a hold of it. Plays the 1-2 with Mees, but he wanted it further inside. Joel Badger, he's got that game-changing ability. You can see whenever he gets on the ball, the Lions faithful just raise their voices a bit He just needs a little bit more support, I think, up there. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow shirts around him at that through that opportunity.
And started it kind of near halfway. If they could get him receiving the ball just a little bit further towards the box, he only needs to beat 1 or 2. He does have that game-changing burst in him, and you're right, it's genuinely exciting every time he gets on the run like that. He glides across the pitch, and he's starting to come into it a little more. It was quiet in the first half. We're seeing a few runs now from Badger. Could he be the game breaker for the Lions? He's threatening to do something spectacular. We're halfway through the second half. It's the Strikers, thanks to Connor Park, who lead this cup final. Flicked on by Tolliver. It's a very good second half so far. Downs under pressure from Dennehy, but had the awareness he was bearing down on him, and retreats back to Lutmer. The skipper has a look up and then pings the diagonal back in the direction of Badger. Pressure came from last from behind. Throw it towards Pitt. Tries to get his boot up to it. Did pretty well there, Pitt. Byong. Now Lutmer. Dow needs to move wide for him, and he does. So Dow doesn't have much support on the right-hand flank, so he's going to have to get past the defender on his own. And then Nugent so he'll apply the pressure and win the throw. It's a little isolated there was the fullback. Needs some support.
Yeah, no one within 30 metres of him as Wright had peeled inside. Pitt was already there. Meeks was already there. And Downs thought about offering, but I'm assuming he's got the instruction to be that kind of anchor man defender, so was probably a bit more hesitant to get forward. It's Harper. Collects. He's not looking for any short options here in this second half. Is Harper, and heaves that one 3/4 of the pitch. Good header clear, only as far as Jolivet. Manages to get it to Tolliver. Bates. Tolliver just peeling off into these wide areas a little more as this second half goes on. And showing the game sense there where you can just pass it back to your centre back. You're the ones in the lead. 20 minutes to go. Devonport Strikers currently in front. It would be a 7th Lakoseljac Cup for them as the shot's on. Tolliver, not quite enough power on that for O'Connell. But South Hobart, the other team, with 7 Lakoseljac Cups, and Greg Downs. I don't want to say that's what he was brought on for. It was probably a little more head-high contact than he was anticipating. That is a strong defensive midfield challenge.
Yeah, it's a slice of cheese, I would have thought, for Greg Downs. Nothing coming from Brenton Copra's pocket just yet, but it's a fairly cynical challenge, that one. Dangerous part of the ground. Downs vacated the premise very quickly and might have avoided a booking in the process. So
I only think that's because it's his first foul of the game, having come on. It's the only thing I can think of.
It was a strong foul. Well, he might have got away with it. So Jolivet again over the dead ball. He's been dangerous with his delivery. His second half. Set up Connor Park for the opening goal. Rolls it short. Bates. Didn't get much on that. Nor did Pitt with the attempted clearance. And beyond craftily worked it to Pitt, but working back Connor Park. Jeez, he's having a game, is Connor Park.
I was going to say, surely best on. I know he scored, but between that, the goal-saving challenge and just work rate like that, he's having an exceptional afternoon. He's been at the Strikers now for many, many years, but I have not seen him play as good a game tonight as before as Connor Park.
Well, had the two biggest moments of the first half, didn't he? Well, the side of the half, rather. The first half made that massive block to deny Tebeget. It's goal-bound shot, and then nods his side into the lead early here in the second half. They stand probably as the two biggest moments of the match. He was at the heart of both. And has the Strikers 20 minutes plus Copra time away for another Lakoseljac Cup triumph. But there is still time for the Lions if they're good enough. Eli Wright has looked their most likely avenue all afternoon, but Sheen should just shut him off from the ball here, and he does.
I've obviously brought Mees on just over 10-15 minutes ago now, and I think I've had 2 touches from the striker. They've just not used his strength so far in trying to get the ball to him, as he has a touch now and just about lays it off to right. Cleared by Sheen. It's out. We have seen the Lions fullbacks creeping further forward as this game's gone on. Jolivet does well to get in front of Biong. Lutma. Got plenty of pepper on that one, back to O'Connell. I don't mind O'Connell here, just taking a second to size up his options and potentially draw a couple of Strikers players further up. I don't mind that, as Mees wins the header in front of Barton. Wright had time to bring that one down on the chest, and that one's off the shoulder. McDowell. Good work to Biong. The switch is on here, and Greg Downs goes in that direction. Badger, oh no, it's not Badger, it's Pitt out there on the far side. Chased down by Layway. Keeping it in, Courage Layway, but the Lions win it back. He's had 2 attempts at the slide challenge there at Layway, and the Lions want the free kick, and they end up getting it. The bench rising to their feet, and this is what the Lions need, just a bit more gusto in their game as they go chasing that equaliser.
Yeah, anything that can spark them, bring the crowd to life, fire them up is good at this point. Maybe 20 minutes left to try and find a leveller. Courage Layway continuing to throw himself about everywhere. He is all action. He's an entertaining player. So, Biong. Can he pick out some chalk timber in the box here? He sends it towards Lutma, heads it back centrally. That's well taken by Harper. Rose and took it amongst a sea of bodies.
That's a really good take there from Harper. As we've talked before, not the tallest keeper, but he knew exactly where the rest of his players were and came across and took that with 2 strong hands as Lutma. Back up towards Mees. Come into the game a bit more the last couple of minutes as Noah Mees. Courage Layway. Well, I described his heading technique before as unconventional, as Badger into the box, has a shot, and that one flashes for a throw-in. As that's not what you want, but Courage Layway, he puts himself about. It's not the cleanest tackling technique, it's not the cleanest heading technique, but he's not afraid to put himself about. And that's half the time, that's half the battle with some people and players.
Really energiser bunny sort, just at one pace. He's just flying about, covers so much territory. But yeah, he's certainly caught the eye today, and he might move into some space here for Jolivet. Jolivet will turn back classily and use Jolivet. And he's now charging for Jolivet. Jolivet still going. He's got Jolivet in support. Rolls it through to Van Nugent. Van Nugent! Denied by O'Connell, who gets down to keep him out.
He was the hero in the league last week, Van Nugent, with that winning goal against Ulverston. Nearly, well, could have just about put this game to bed at 2-0 there. Got the shot on target. But I'm noticing the Strikers, that defensive line, every step O'Connell takes here, the Strikers are taking another one back. They're starting to drop deeper and deeper as Barton wins that one over Mees. Jolivet, Bates. And they're really just leaving Lockie Van Nugent, the only striker up top for the Strikers, is Downs. Gets that one past Jolivet. Right. Biong, oh, it's behind him. He wasn't quite expecting Layway to be there. Biong again over the top. Well, he's not afraid to shoot from distance, Biong, but when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players in attack, that's probably the time for the through ball.
I reckon Rowan Pitt was the man to feed on the left-hand side of the box there. He was in a bit of room. Did well to win the ball and turn, and just leaning back. He's taken the shot on a couple of times, Biong. Couldn't quite keep that effort down. Time starting to become an enemy here of the Kingborough Lions. Lutman nods it down. He's went through the back there of Bates. Biong. There he is again. Courage just flinging himself in the way and drawing the foul. Pure heart. Just willingness to work his way to the ball there. Get in front.
Given the position he plays, wingers, there's some in the world who don't want to track back, who think it's, not a little bit beneath them, but that's the kind of work you need from a winger. And for a place in a club like Devonport, that's a way to really get yourself in the good books of the Strikers faithful, as it looks like the Lions are now going to have another attacking change and probably sensing that yellow card across the foul. Beyond is off. I guess that's Miranda.
Yep.
So process elimination, it is Miranda.
So he's got about a quarter of an hour to make himself the hero. Vidal lost it to Tolliver. We'll get the throw in. In no rush. All the Strikers here. They'll want as few minutes of the ball in play as possible in this final quarter of an hour. Tolliver looking for the foul and getting it. Just a little overzealous was Vidal.
Wonder how much Arsenal Devonport have been watching in the last year.
The masters of killing a game off in this situation, though. There was a recent cup final where they couldn't hold a 1-0 lead.
It's true.
Slightly longer to hold on to it. And all due respect to the Lions, I'm not quite sure they've got SG's firepower at their disposal. But Jolivet to take. He's unlocked him once already. Oh, almost does so again. Downs with a really good block there. And O'Connell comes across and collects. There's some nice defensive work from Greg Downs. Sheen came very close there. Vidal. Lutmer. Now Badger gets a blatant shove from Sheen.
I mean, I don't understand the logic of that from a defensive point of view. I mean, that's just... There was not even an attempt to win the ball there, as now the Strikers will make a substitution. That looks like Payne coming on. Someone we've seen come off the bench a few times for the Strikers in similar games. And again, the rules that are in the World Cup don't think in effect here, so we have 10 seconds to get off the field, but that was pretty quick there from Tolliver. Downs will look to launch this one forward. 10 minutes to go. Lions faithful getting nervous down this end of the park as cheeky other sub happening here with McShane coming off and the chef Ryan Cook coming on. Usually, well, Ryan Cook started as a winger and a striker about 10 years ago. He's gradually moved further and further back, but I imagine he'll be up top as Downs. That is right to the head of Toby Barton. Cook to Jolivet. Now the Strikers, they're going to see plenty of room to run into on the counter as this game ebbs and flows towards the end. Miranda. Jolivet still full of running. Calls for handball, not given. And eventually given by Brenton Copra.
Tried to see if there was an advantage. Downs across to take once more. We know he's a great set-piece man. Greg Downs, part of the reason I'm sure he's brought on was for this reason. And ping some balls in there. The final 10 minutes of regulation. Downs trying to unlock the defence here. Lutmer rises. Mees on the goalie, but again standing tall was Harper. And he claims the ball. He can run a little more clock. Strikers inching ever closer. Last sends it long. The substitute Payne making a bursting run. Having to put it into touch was Schwarz.
Joel, I mean, Badger's now playing as the furthest forward here for the Lions until just then. Gives you some idea of Kingborough's plan for the next few minutes. 8 minutes to go, being told to give the hurry up. Payne will take the goal kick. O'Connell. Strikers getting back in numbers. Looking one of the corners just to get this away from Toby Barton's head. Didn't quite get there towards Mees, but Coach Leway puts it out for a throw. Cook down the line towards Mees. Park with the touch, and that was pretty easy end-to-end to get the corner there for the Lions. Did that rather easily.
Yeah, worked nicely. No risk taken by Park, and they'll send the cavalry forward now, the Lions. 2-on-2 at halfway. Everyone else, no, they are going to send a third body back. Well, it's approaching that time. Courage Leway was just hiding on the line as this one's worked in over the head and off the back shoulder of Lutner, I think, so it should be a goal kick. Referee disagrees.
I thought that came off his back shoulder as well.
So we'll get another chance. The Lions had 2-on-2 at halfway, but Coach Leway was just waiting on the bench at halfway to sneak on. They realised it went, hang on, better cover off on him. Dennehy now hustling back to throw another body back in defence. We'll switch out with Leway.
See Wright push forward as well.
Badger to deliver. And it's poor delivery. Killed it out of play. Frustration for the Lions. They're running out of time.
Second half, Toby, it seemed like a real difference in cup final experience would be. I would see the difference between these two teams. Devonport keep doing the same thing, added intensity. Kingborough went that goal behind, tried to make some changes, and at the moment, it's sort of made them a little more disjointed for the last 40 minutes, I'd say. Mees up against Park. And they're going to have, given how deep Devonport are now dropping, they are probably going to have some good territory and potentially some good opportunities in this last 7 minutes. But Devonport pretty good at closing out a game as Cook gets ready to launch the throw-in, low and flat to the feet of Mees. Needed that second attacker to come and take that off his feet, Dennehy. And Jolivet flicks it to himself, and Udigam up against a fellow number 17, and Tau wins that one. Again, not a great deal of help. Eventually gets some from Rye. Left foot, good cross there, Badger, and he just couldn't get it back to himself. Now Vidal. That's very deep. Eventually they manage to keep possession. Cook. Border's going to go the first time cross. Now goes the second time cross. Oh, falls towards Badger at the back stick. Badger, and didn't get the purchase he needed. You could see where he was going with that, but just came off the underside of the boot, and that's an easy save for Harper.
The best 2 minutes of the half the Lions have had there, putting consistent pressure on the Devonport defence as they look to ice the game back the other way. Dennehy lurking. O'Connell with an awkward one, just has to hack it clear, but they're pushing here, the Lions. Can they find the leveller? Well, the Strikers hold that Lakoseljac Cup aloft yet again. The Lions searching for that elusive piece of silverware. They've got closer down the years. They've been building and building to this moment. They're going to fall just short again, as they did a couple of years ago in that heartbreaker to the Glenorchy Knights. One of the great cup finals, has to be said. Mees flicked on superbly. No, referee's blown a foul.
I think it's Eli Wright coming and tunnelling underneath, which gave Mees the slightly freer header. Yeah, Kingborough Lions, fourth appearance in a Lakoseljac Cup final. 0-3, eventually going towards 0-4. Haven't won a state league yet either in this NPL era. Heard John Fennick on the week on the radio talking up the size of the club and how much the club have got around what they're doing and what they're building for. As that flick on from Payne comes to Nort due to the push in the back, and O'Connell. Yep, Van Udigam. Well, it didn't matter as we have a light tower out. 86 minutes, more than 85% played. Where are we going with that?
It's good to see something start changing out here at KJ5. Facilities might look a little bit nicer, but
you just had like just a revert to 5-10 years ago there, Andrew.
Yeah, glad I don't have to run off somewhere and deal with that anymore.
I tell you, Courage Leway coming off now for the Strikers. He has been fantastic for them today. He has been everywhere. And while I still think Connor Park is probably best on, Cole Flayway would be, well, he wouldn't get 3 votes, he'd probably get 1.
He'll be in the mix. He's been fantastic today. So, one light tower out. Will it be the Lions' finals hopes extinguished as well, or can they find a late miracle? Harper will take his yellow for time wasting. Coffra not having any of that. He's been pointing at his watch every time they've attempted to do it and said, not going to buy any more time. So, could we be maybe headed to 5 or 6 additional minutes here? Harper launching it long, flicked on the back. Sturzica just on. Lions work him off it. Miranda to Downs. Now back to O'Connell. Lutmer has moved forward. A sign of the times. Mees brought it down and then up into the arm. The defender gets the free kick. We're approaching kitchen sink time now, Paul.
Getting ready for O'Connell up for the next corner. We do love that. As well, it's now everyone up. It's just Downs and really Vidal. The tall timber is up for the Lions as this one goes central. Harper underneath it, gets a punch. Flicks back in by Miranda. Right. Tried to up and under. Badger manages to get it down with Jolive right behind him, as he has been for a lot of this game. O'Connell's on here, but Downs does it himself. Lutmer. Fair challenge on the keeper. Harper, well, he's got his yellow card already that he had up his sleeve, so he'll have to get rid of this one pretty quickly.
He's so good in the air today, Harper. He's been so clean. He's had a lot of tough questions to answer, especially later on in the match where they've just been pinging it in there, but he's been up to them. He's had the answers, but the Lions will keep coming. Miranda dinks it in. Couldn't quite find Mees. Across was Bates, and it's behind for another corner. O'Connell will push up to halfway. Tell everyone else to get up there. So the Lions, so we roll in to stoppage time now. Can the Lions conjure a late miracle? Everybody bar the goalkeeper is up. Right with a flat screwball. Downs' shot deflected. And behind it goes for another corner. So some appeals for the Lions for a handball. Nothing doing. They'll sing it again. 4 additional minutes signalled by the 4th official. Right once more. Lutmer nods it down, but he nods it down wide. And the danger passes for the Strikers.
Eli Lutmer is still the number 1 target down there for the corners, but it tends to be more floating ones towards the back stick. And the Strikers, for a large part, have snuffed that plan out. So you think they might have to do something different soon, as someone is coming off at a not great rate of pace.
And Nugent. But you're right, they've been floating balls, and Lutmer's had to generate all the pace on those headers, which just makes it so difficult. It's not like we saw Park was just kind of able to glance at a ball which had a bit of fizz on it that came in, help it on its way. Lutmer's really having to generate everything in the air.
I mean, Devonport are pushing everyone back into the 18-yard box, the 6-yard box. If you want a bit more pace, you can roll it out to someone out here. I mean, if someone's coming short, Devonport haven't really shown an interest in closing that down quickly. So there is that opportunity there as Schwartz should go back to the keeper and does. That's a good boot from O'Connell. Mees up against Barton. 50-50. Ends up the way of the Strikers. Downs acrobatically forward. Lutmer up against Park. The ball staying as high as we are up here in the scaffolding here for the moment as Payne. Schwartz. Figured he'd be able to pick that one up.
Back pass.
No, they're giving it as a back pass.
Well, you don't see that often, but look, he's booted it straight to his keeper. He didn't head it to him.
Oh, but I know he didn't head it to him. He has got a player on his backside. It does look like he's trying to do it up in the air. Like he's not trying to pass that terribly to Nick O'Connell, I wouldn't say.
I don't know. Well, Copra certainly thinks he was, and that's the one that matters. So,
but now we got one of our other favourite things. We were thinking in the 90-whatever minutes, the keeper coming up, we get the 6-yard box free kick. One of football's... There's not many great novelties left in this game, but this is one of them.
True rarity. Every Lions defender and midfielder back on the line.
almost no Strikers players up there, which is equally as hilarious.
So Isaac Bates looks like he'll be the man to hit it. There'll be a quick touch and they'll try and charge him down. Bates! Blocked! And the Lions live to fight for at least a couple more minutes, and then a hefty challenge will be penalised and a free kick for Kingborough. They've got a couple more minutes here to get it up there and see if they can conjure a late miracle. But O'Connell has skewed that one a little bit. Flicked on by Wright, then by Mees to Lutmar. Lutmar helps it on its way. Badger's arriving. Brings it down, but the Devonport defence see it away.
I didn't mind that from Lutmar. I thought that was a decent ball in the circumstance.
Right. Vidal curls it, but it had rolled out of play.
Can't let that happen at this time of the game.
Agonising for the Lions.
Hugo Schwartz having roughly the same reaction as I've had up here in the commentary box to that. There's now 2 balls on the field. Every little helps for the Strikers. Again, Downs manages to get it clear, but this will be another 30 seconds. The Lions don't have 30 seconds. Downs. Back to O'Connell. Miranda. Cook. The Lions have to go now. They've got the players forward. Last gets there.
Brilliant from Last. Great intervention, and this is it. Last roll of the dice here for the Lions. Nick O'Connell is making his way up for the long throw. It's do or die now for Kingborough. One last chance. Cook heaves it into the box. Park was there. Bustling right! Has bundled it home! And the Lions have knotted it up in the dying seconds. Eli Wright finds a way. 1-1. Bedlam at KG5. The long throw of Cook. And Wright has levelled incredibly with the last kick of the 90.
Absolute pandemonium in that corner. The only time the Devonport Strikers have not had a centre-back straight in front of the keeper for 94 minutes is the one time it falls to Eli Wright there. This cup competition over the years has delivered some of the most amazing 90th minute moments you've ever seen. And that's another one to add to the list. Eli Wright, and before, for those who didn't hear, in the pandemonium, Brendan Copper just turned and blue full time. There won't be a kick-off. We are going straight to extra time. There's
absolutely incredible.
And the lights are out. They turn the lights off. The game's still going, people.
Oh, it might be a while before we get to extra time here. The excitement has zapped the lights, apparently. Probably as good a time as any for them to go out during the stoppage, and they're back on quickly. But what a moment. Right, the 95th minute, the Cook long throw wasn't dealt with. And Wright, just through a sea of bodies, just found a way. Incredible. It was drama in the semi-final the other way for the Lions. They nearly got dumped out because of a 99th minute goal from South Hobart. Today, they're on the other end of it. It was just working his way to the ball. The ball hit the deck in the area, and Wright reacted fastest. I'll tell you what, he was off like a bolt towards the fans to celebrate too.
He's gone straight to the corner where the Kingborough faithful have gone to in this second half. And look, Cook's long throw. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be interested to see what formation Kingborough roll out for this extra time, because it probably won't make a lot of sense compared to what was at the start. They've really gone for the kitchen sink here. So, I mean, thinking forward, that's going to be something. But what a moment for Eli Wright. I mean, we were talking about him pre-game with pace down the wing. We were not talking about, let's say, inside the 6-yard box finishing. But, I mean, what a time to be the club hero. And Kingborough, well, I mentioned it about 5 minutes ago. They're 0-3 in cup finals. It was looking like 0-4. They have come back from the dead, Undertaker style. And we're going to extra time.
Oh, it's the magic of the cap. It's why we love this competition. An incredible moment. Now the Strikers have to pick themselves up and play another 30 minutes. They were literally a clearance away from celebrating. That was it. There was no more. This was the final play of the game as Cook heaved it in. And just about for the first time all match, the centre-backs weren't able to clear it away. A ball hit the deck in a dangerous area. And Wright sends us through to an additional 30 minutes. More drama to come here yet. And Kingborough, can they build off that moment? They let that carry them through. Of course, both semi-finals went into additional time, fitting that the final would too. The Lions went all the way to penalties. The Strikers got over the top 4-2 in regulation of the Knights. What will this additional 30 have in store for us?
I mean, we're going to have some fantastic football ahead of us over the next month, obviously, with the biggest event in the world, the World Cup, happening. But this is a great entree here at the Lakoseljac Cup Final. It's got everything you want in a local competition. Also, with the Hahn Australia Cup round of 32 spot to play for as well. And this is why we've always consistently said this is the biggest day in Tasmanian football. And extra time, we've had 3 extra times in the Lakoseljac Cup history and 2 penalty shootouts. 2024 game we've been alluding to. The Kingborough was the one decided in extra time. The other 2 going to penalties. It's not something we have too often. 3, this is now 4 in 27 years, so not too common. But we're now getting the emergency lights as well from the grandstand here to try and help us out.
Was it Stefan Caldwell for Knights?
Yeah, it was.
That extra time game?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a cracking cup final, that one.
It's the one he put in the top of the... Yeah, absolute great game. And then, the others in very much in the past, the penalty ones. I think we might have had one about 10 years ago, maybe, and then the other ones back in the early 2000s, about 2003.
We've seldom had a more dramatic ending to a 90 than that, though. Incredible scenes here. The Strikers, they were just about to hoist the trophy in celebration, and now the reset required. You have to maintain their focus. Strikers have to pick themselves back up, play an additional 30, tough it out, and see who can get the job done here in extra time.
2021, Devonport winning on pens over Glenorchy here.
So,
good to see no one leaving either. These Devonport fans have got a long drive back here tonight, and it's already 5 o'clock. They might well, by the time the partying's over and they get on the bus, it could be tomorrow by the time they're back home. But none of them are leaving. The cup final still to be decided.
So we're just about ready to go in semi-darkness. One of the light towers blown out here in midfield, but play suitable to continue. So we're off and underway as Bates launches it out of play. An extra time. The 2026 Lakoseljac Cup Final begins. Eli Wright, the 95th minute leveller after Connor Park looked like he had headed the Strikers to cup glory. Here's Ryan Cook, whose long throw led to the goal. A great substitution in the end there from Phoenix, switching his left backs. Perhaps not the move you expect, chasing a goal in the game, but the long throw weaponry of the chef. He's cooked up an equaliser for his side here today. Here's Miranda. Cook chips it down, looking for Rowan Pitt. He's battling away with last. Jolivet. Bates rolling it through. Payne. What was the sub for the Strikers? Looked in there by Sturzica. Ooh, no nonsense tackle that one. Got the ball though, did Miranda. Badger. Now Cook. Pitt. To the line here. Last just backing in. The ref letting things go. Eventually the AR has flagged it. And flagged it in favour of the Strikers.
Yeah, I've seen what Rowan Pitt's arguing with the assistant referee, and I've sort of got a bit of sympathy for him in that situation. I mean, they were sort of fouling each other and one ended up sitting on it. It used to be a drop ball back in the day, but not really an option on this occasion. Ross Jolivet's delivery put Devonport in front earlier. We'll see if we can do the same from this. Jolivet, O'Connell comes out. A good strong catch with easing the nerves of the Kingborough faithful to our right. It's like Cook is going to play left back back, Mees up top, so it doesn't look like Kingborough's going to roughly keep what they had towards the end there. Obviously, Nicola Lutmer going back to centre back. Won't be up top, I would imagine. The rest as we get into the darkness on the far side. It's surely a foul, and is.
That surprised me. It was a fairly straightforward decision there for Mr. Copper. Downs, who's taking important that final 20 minutes or so. The dangerous moments came from him pinging those longer balls. He's Cook. Chipping in the channel, and he's chase after that one. Parker Cox to deal with it. An opportunity for Cook to launch another throw in. Why not after the last one?
I didn't mind that tactic. Mees had played fairly centrally for that most of that second half, but sensing this opportunity, why not?
Cook didn't lose much on that one, but Mees flicked on splendidly, and Badger emphatically almost conjuring a miraculous goal. Best to get there was Harper. The long throw on the Mees' head is causing a few problems, and if Lions, that's something a bit to go to the well to.
Well, the hard thing there for Harper was to get past two players to get to Mees, and the centre-back's taller and probably a couple of more kilos to deal as well. That's very difficult for a goalkeeper. Downs thought about turning out, eventually does. Lutmer. This is a bit more what we saw from Kingborough at the start of that second half as Miranda, Downs, Kingborough, and they really did empty the bench as well in pursuit of that goal. And there's another one of the substitutes, Miranda, just getting that one a little bit tangled up, and Wright comes back to bail him out. And Wright looking for options. Cook is in an acre of space on this side and instead chips. So no one in particular. Downs with the touch. Now Lutmer. Searching ball. Looking for Pitt. And that one managed to be cut out rather easily and stays in. Pitt almost waiting for that one to roll out. Doesn't have a great deal of options, but that was probably the best option available there for Pitt, and goes to Miranda. Badger. First time we've really seen him on the ball. Proceeds to run into Brenton Copra with it.
Two completed challenges for Copra here today. Badger turned into him there. Downs out the back for Lutmer. Shaw's sauntering forward. Chips it up towards Mees. Brings it down the target man. Back to Cook. Pitt wants the early ball. That's not forthcoming and really do any favours for Mees, but Cook will win it back doggedly. And does well to win the throw. Ryan Cook. Positive impact since coming into this game. For Zebra. On the opposite side of the Safari Derby now as he launches this one towards Mees, who brings it down superbly. Mees didn't get the shot right. Bring down. The touch was sublime, but the finish just lacking.
Right idea, though. There was a little space in that top corner there that Harper wasn't quite covering as tight as you might otherwise want if you're a Strikers fan. And I think Mees sensed that. It was a beautiful first touch, as you mentioned. It just couldn't quite find the target, but Kingborough have been good in this first 6 minutes of extra time. Schwartz finds Connor Park. Well, Cook hope to get some distance to get towards long throw territory. Now Badger immediately manhandled by Barton and wins the free kick. I mean, I know the temperature's dropped a few degrees, but can't be going cuddling out there like that. It will be called a foul.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to do that, really. Turning well away from goals and particularly dangerous. Downs over a dead ball's pretty dangerous. A pretty good game, though, Barton, but just a little bit of an unnecessary tug, that one. Badger himself looks like he's going to take this one. Downs has gone into the area. So, what can Joel Badger produce? He kills it. Killing ball in, headed clear. Miranda battling away here. Burley couldn't clear the area. Badger once more. Just to combine with Pitt. Pitt will settle for a throw. And takes it quickly. Trying to catch him off guard. Park thumps it across, and I suspect this will be the long one.
I didn't mind that again from Kingborough, just sensing that Devonport were ready to slowly move back for what we're about to see here, but take it quickly. Got that extra 7 to 8 yards to get in this position.
Yeah, some good quick thinking there, I agree. Just took them by surprise, and now you can launch it to the head of Mees. Which is just what they'll do. Mees flicks on, dangerous, the punch, clears it to Badger, who volleys it into the night sky. Leaning back on his left is never particularly likely. But the long throws of Ryan Cook causing some chaos in the cup final.
And Tager Harvey is struggling to get the ball back. He's potentially conscious he's on a yellow card, so if the ball doesn't come back, he looks bad. And then we've got 2 on the field, which hopefully Brenton Chopra will see. Tager Harper couldn't really do a lot more than that in that situation, as he'll look to take the goal kick. As we move towards a chilly Glenorchy evening after a beautiful day. I hope you're all enjoying that peak Tasmanian sunset as well. Those of you watching around the world, that's right to the face. And he has gone down. Some howls from the Kingborough fans to the right. That was, well, I don't think it was an intentional, as I don't think we'll see a foul. I do think there was contact to the head there, and referees these days are obliged. Okay, just want to see what that announcement was. Yeah, because he does catch him.
Yeah, looking at the replay there, that's definitely up in the face. Clearly going to get called. But I'm not sure that the Strikers and Lions faithful are watching this one with 2 eyes at this point of a cup final. No. I think you can expect that.
Particularly some of the Strikers faithful, who obviously have been here all day with the Wibbits team winning the statewide cup final. It's been a long day for them. And we hope those of you up north are enjoying the coverage.
So Jolivet over the dead ball. Extra time of the cup final. It was a Jolivet free kick headed home by Park that had them a goal to the good. Now Barton maybe. Looks behind off a line. There'll be a corner, but again Jolivet's delivery very dangerous. He'll stride across to take this corner.
We were talking in that first half about how crucial some of those challenges and Bates and Park getting in there. That header from Lions was crucial because Toby Barton, full head of steam, full power. I reckon that was going on target.
So another chance for Yvonne Jolivet. Test out the Lions' resolve at the back. Dennehy making an absolute nuisance of himself on O'Connell. This one's fizzed in, headed away by Lutmer, only so far as Burley. Jolivet charged down by Schwarz. The Lions faithful enjoying that. Every effort like that being heartily greeted by this Lions fan base, who hoping this is the year the drought will be broken. Long ball in, flicked on dangerously by Payne, brought down by Dennehy. Park was lurking, diving on it was O'Connell.
Park again, nearly getting in the right place in the right time in an attacking sense. I think it's been everywhere for the Strikers as Cook wants options. Mees drops in short this time. Now Pitt. He was expecting to see a winger out on the far side and didn't see one, so goes back towards the centre backs. Schwartz and Lutmer. Exchange passes. There's a tense hush comes over KG5 Football Park when you ignore the car alarms. Miranda, Downs in space. Devonport, content to sit back in a lower block than really we've seen all game. Will allow Kingborough a bit of time to think here and see what to do. Now they push up. Jolivet right underneath Miranda, who keeps hold of the ball. Right. Ends up being a good touch. Coming inside. Pitt takes it off the toe of Vidal. Now, right on the far side. Downs is about to get pressured from behind, so forced to go back. Just with the intensity dropping a little, maybe a few more tired bodies out there, as you mentioned, Andrew. Semi-finals, both going to extra time. League games in between. A bit of conservation management going on here, I think, from Kingborough. They still keep possession. Downs decides to put it forward towards Mees. Holds it up. Jolivet back. Badger goes straight into Jolivet. No foul given from the referee. Over the head of Payne. Lutmer. Downs. Good idea in going out wide, as didn't have a great deal of other options. Miranda towards Eli Wright. Gets it through the legs. And out to Vidal, who, the idea was Mees, but he's overcooked that one a bit.
So the Strikers hold firm at the back. And they'll execute a wide ball out to Sturzica. He should have fresher legs than most. He looks to show them off here as he sides inside and then heads out wide to Burley. The subs combining. Advantage played for the foul by Miranda. Burley curling in. Lutmer is on the spot to head clear. And Downs found Pitt. Pitt. Downs. Ryan Cook looks up. Rolls it through to Badger. Has he got any legs left here? Joel Badger. He's going to test out Parks. He has a run here. Throws in a little step and tries to go around the outside, and he wins the corner as the Badger.
That's Sturzica only just getting to his feet after a fair few minutes on the ground. It's sort of a half-half. Do we kick it out? Do we not? Devonport weren't really calling as strongly to kick it out, even though Sturzica was on the ground for at least 30 seconds. Has led to a Lions corner.
Badger having one. Looks like he'll take it. They send the bodies up there. 6 in the area. Was near post, flicked away. Cleared by Jolivet. Dennehy. Right. He's got plenty of speed to cover off on that. Treats to Lutmer. Speaking of having legs left, Jolivet is tireless in his work rate. He's still tearing about the pitch furiously as Burley is sent to the neck, and that will be a free kick. Downs penalised.
Jolivet's also, he's got a bit of that Berbatov movement, the way, particularly in attacking sense. He just, he does the grunt work in defence, and then when he's in attack, just tends to glide across the pitch. I've been really impressed with him so far tonight, not just the free kick delivery.
Last opportunity for them here before half-time and extra time.
That's what I was just looking at the time there, as we're now pretty much playing under total artificial light here, or not light if you're in the grandstand area. There's Jolivet. Still 5 in the box for the Strikers. Goes low towards the near post, flicked on, and there was another, again, a Lions head that got the touch to that. There'll be another corner. Teams not really trading many gilt-edge chances in this first period of extra time. Plenty of corners though, plenty of long throws. And again, I haven't really seen anyone offer a short option from any corner from either side today. I don't think we're going to have that as we go into extra time. Brodie Dennehy getting as low to the ground as possible. Almost looks like me descending Mount Wellington on my bike. He's that low, as the foul has been found by Brenton Copra. And again, I think I overheard 1 minute of stoppage time in extra time. Not that was really out of stoppage.
They'll send it long, and that will probably be that.
Indeed,
we're not even going to have that. Brenton Copra says that will do. There's his whistle halfway through extra time. 15 minutes away from penalties. The Lions won a dramatic shootout to punch their ticket through to the final. That famous semi over South Hobart. This time it was they who struck the dramatic last second equaliser. Will they be able to get the job done? The final 15, or are we destined to go to the spot as the Lions faithful are making their way, the migration again?
We've joined some going the sort of route underneath our scaffolding area. We've got some on the footpath. There's no shortage of willingness to get right behind their team here from the Lions faithful, and to be fair, Same with the Strikers as well. And I must say, penalties, if you make a prediction, seem likely on the basis of that first period of extra time. We saw halfway through that period a bit of tempo just going out of the occasion. And it would be Kingborough. I'm not sure what they do if they had another extra time loss in the Lakoseljac Cup Final.
It'd be a tough one, wouldn't it?
They got plenty of narrative sort of on their side to avenge that loss here tonight. Another one would be pretty heartbreaking. There's, again, not too many people have left the now Glenorchy Knights house over there, and expert balcony area still full. As inside, canteen still going. Those on canteen watch, the CEO, treasurer, both enjoying the pizza here this afternoon.
Yeah, good little lunch set up there running here. We're just about ready to go. The second half of extra time. Can someone make themselves the hero? Or are we going to the dreaded penalty shootout? The ultimate test of nerves. Still time left for someone to pitch their name into Lakoseljac Cup folklore. Eli Wright has already carved one chapter. Can someone find it to win this match? There's plenty of tired bodies out there. A few fresh legs from the subs bench on both sides. Can they be the difference? Who can find that extra little bit within themselves? Who's got something left to give for 105 minutes? It's been a tough physical battle. A bit of a delay while the nets are being checked here. Issue at one end of the ground seems to be resolved.
It's Freddie Hess fixing the ground at that end.
Part of that Lions lost a couple of years ago. This one's knotted down by Barton to Downs. Vidal. Right. And with the dramatic equaliser, here's Lutmer. Going to drive the play out of defence. The experienced star captain of the Lions at the back. The best centre-backs in the state for years now. And he had Lakoseljac Cup victory with the Lions. So that's CV of his. Here's Wright. Solivay shadowing him closely. Wright tries to thread it for Mies. Solivay deflected. Sheen tried to clear it. And Harper didn't get a heap of purchase on that one. Badger, Jolivet working back, did just enough. Barton was in there and crunched in. Bit of an elbow. Tough coming together. In the end, a free kick's going to go to Jolivet.
Yeah, noises from the fans closest to us at that elbow there from Toby Barton. Using all of his size and strength there. It's Badger slow to get up after the challenge with Jolivet, who for the first time all innings showing the slightest sign of being a little bit tired despite covering, I would imagine, the most ground out of everyone out there this afternoon. With Payne, flicks it on. Up and under from Miranda. Again, Downs wins it. Jolivet up against Wright, turns out of trouble, looks for a teammate, finds one expertly. Time to run through his Bates, who has the shot deflected, but good save in the end from O'Connell, and Cook puts it out. Bates collected a little bit after that one. O'Connell had to see it all the way, didn't have a bit of spin on it.
Yeah, one you expect the keeper to make, but still takes some saving, and he did his job well there. Did O'Connell, got down, kept it out at full extension. Never an easy one, especially at this moment of a cup final, and you just got to be making sure you control where the rebound goes. Don't want to be leaving on the doorstep for a striker. Technique was rock solid from Nick O'Connell. We might have a major role to play yet, should we not find a goal in the next 10 minutes or so here. The Strikers, though, pushing to avoid going the distance as they probe for a goal. Try and settle this one in extra time. A long launch in the direction there of Payne. Bates. And dinked in by Sturzik, and a Dennehy, who couldn't keep his effort down.
He's got a Cahill-like spring on him, does Brodie Dennehy. You If you haven't seen him play too often, you'd think not much of the aerial threat, but he definitely has been over the years. And Bates again with another good opportunity with that volley at the top of the box. He was well charged down, and that's 2 for Bates, who I don't recall seeing a great deal of in that first period of extra time. He's seemed to have found a bit of a second wind as Mees gets clattered after the fact. And both trainers required to come on. Barton absolutely storming into Noel Mees then.
Yeah, he's not going to let him get a clean flick on, was he?
No, he wasn't. And both coming up holding their head. Mees down a bit further, down for a bit longer. And we'll see some extra time here as he won the head up. Not quite sure what way around Brenton Cochran called that.
I thought it would be Mees' free. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly,
see a definitive arm point from Copra there.
I've liked what Mees has brought to the Lions since coming on. He's been really good in the air. He's given him a target. He's held the ball up well. And probably it took them probably 15 or 20 minutes to get him involved. They weren't using him at all early on, but the longer the games were on, the more balls come his way, and the better they've looked as a result of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's been good to see him get in the game. As you say, came on at about the 56th minute. It was about the 75th minute that they decided to go in that Mees direction, maybe just wary of what the previous time of the game had done with the shorter strikers, as it does look like it's going to be a drop ball. And I thought Kingborough won A, a foul, or B, the possession. So I hope they end up getting the ball here. That's a no.
That's interesting.
Wasn't in my top 2 choices, but Eli Lottner does the business and win the ball back, and the Lions get it roughly where they should have gotten it just before. Badger through to Mees, who's back on the pitch. Well, Badger was going to take it back. And split his 2 attackers there, did Mees, and found Barton. Dennehy getting all the way back. He split the Lions defenders there, and Jolivet Miranda thought about the tactical foul and didn't end up going there as Cook wins it for the Lions. That one launched forward. Park. There's a bit of space here in the middle of the park opening up as Payne tries to get on the end of that one, but the gaps between each team's defence growing larger and larger here as we tick towards 10 minutes left before the penalty shootout.
Schwartz at the back. Looks up. The less movement off the ball than there has been earlier in the game. Players just conserving their energy for the moments. Lions looking around the back here. Eventually O'Connell will pull the trigger and launch it. It's going to be over the head of Mees though. Barton able to win the header down. Badger gets clattered into right under the referee's nose, and he'll blow that one. Well, that one did. Joel Badger holding his head. Hopefully he can get back up.
Lions bench immediately to their feet. They happened with a great view they had of that incident. I think it was the follow-through elbow that really they didn't rate. And it looks like Hopper is going to go to his top pocket and issue a slice of cheese for Lakoseljac.
I think he had to. It was pretty late. It was like a bit of a shoulder or elbow to the head. Clear foul. Into the book it goes. Sturzica. So Downs over the dead ball. We've travelled 111 minutes. We're locked at 1-1 in extra time. Downs to send it in. Pretty easy pickings though for Barton to nod clear. No one there for the Lions to make a play on it. Miranda, he's got Vidal, but the ball had too much on it, and that allowed Parkin to sweep round and cover at the back. Lutmer. And Schwartz carrying forward. In trying to find the feet of Mees. He's fighting on, but was well won there by Last. Still they attack. Pitt turned into trouble. Lions will get the throat. No, they won't. They almost bought it. They'd almost sold it. And Fennec is absolutely ropeable.
One thing I noticed from that semi-final is how much Fennec does like to do that kind of charge 5 to 10 yards out of his box. I haven't seen that a lot today. It's the first time we've really seen it in anger. He was so animated in that semi-final.
It's just a raw reaction from the man.
The Lions In this period of extra time, has not managed to get it to Joel Badger. He's constantly feeling at his left hip while standing on the side closest to us, as he might now get in the action here as hit, trying to find a teammate. Is he offside? No. Cross coming in towards the back stick, but over everyone, and that'll go out for a goal kick. And Devonport, we've got the subs warming up on the far side. They still have a sub up their sleeve.
It's almost at the point where you go, can you take a penalty?
Yes.
That's why you're coming on.
I think I've seen Dom Smith take pens before. Another player down. It's Payne for the Strikers.
We're ticking ever closer to the shootout here. 6.5 to play. As treatment will come out here for Geordie Payne. Carnage in the extra time period. Plenty of head knocks. A lot of aerial duels going on. A lot of tired bodies. So a lot of just launch it in the air, and that's leading to these, I think.
I mean, we've had more, pauses for head knocks than shots in this second period of extra time, which says it all. And it's, if you're only tuning in late, almost the complete opposite in the first half, where both sides had very short strikers. So there was very little of this in that first half, really, until sort of the 80th minute. And then the game, and it's almost been a completely different playing style since about the 80th minute here. Well, I was about to say today, it's pretty much tonight as well.
Yeah, certainly into the evening now. There's Lutma. Well, look up. They've just been pinging him onto the head of Mees for most of this extra time period. They're going to just try and work it through along the deck this time. Downs heads wide. Down the line for Badger. They get some inspiration from Badger here. He drives. Tried to spy Pitt at the near post. Couldn't quite pick him out. Now maybe Devonport gets something going the other way on the counter-attack. Bates sends it down the channel looking for Payne. Schwarz, good intervention. And gets the free kick as well, much to the chagrin of Payne.
I was expecting that foul to be given. They were just, again, waiting to see advantage, consistent with what we've seen the rest of the evening. It was 4 minutes and probably a little more stoppage time than we've seen the rest of the game to go here. As one is launched by O'Connell. Park with a good running jump and contact on that one. Ends up falling into a midfield scrap in which the Strikers managed to clear. Lutma, searching ball out wide towards right. Does he have another piece of magic left here before the shootout? That one over the top of last. Cook has Badger up ahead. Cleared. Good to see Badger just trying to get in the game a little bit more with a couple of minutes to go. Eli Lutma down on the deck with cramp as well. It's been that sort of game. Jim Copper noticing. Eli Lutma, only a strong hint of cramp.
Well, I hope he'll be all right, because he will definitely be one of the first few picked to take a penalty. Probably one of the clutch penalties between 3 and 5, I'd imagine Lutla will be getting. They'll hope that it is just a bit of cramp and he's right to continue. A late injury. As we wait, I think we know what's coming at the other end of the park. Ryan Cook prepping the launch. But Lutma down, clutching at the groin.
There is a sub ready for Kingborough. I'm assuming it's the only outfield sub they have left. The Fijian.
Now, the way he's been stretched out, I think it might be just cramp, but a little concern here. Could this be truly heartbreaking into Eli Lutma's evening? Just a couple of minutes short of full time.
I think if he can get up, he'll stay on.
His feet, but he is hobbled. He is completely hobbled right now.
It's a hammy is
could
just...
it could be a hamstring. So that might be it for the Lions skipper. He can barely move.
Yeah.
He's hopping off, so that might be the end.
As we just said, he would be first penalty taker I'd have on the sheet for Lions, and I would put him at whatever you deem the most crucial point, 2, 3, 4, 5, whichever one.
So that is a huge blow. Last couple of minutes to play out, but perhaps more so for the shootout to come. As Peter Ravitsai will come on and he'll just charge into the box. What a chance he has to make himself the hero. Cook to send it in. He gives it a launch towards Mees, who flicked it on, hits the deck, and it's cleared away this time. Badger pressuring, forced to turn over, down, skews it well wide of the mark.
For those who haven't seen Peter Ravitsai, but does usually play centre-back or occasionally defensive mid. So it is a like-for-like replacement in terms of positioning. As we can see, Lutmer back to his feet, but still it's taken him a while to get to the bench. He just sort of dropped suddenly at halfway. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. As Ravitsai making his presence known on Geordie Payne, and Kingborough with the ball again. Devonport in this second period of extra half have not had much in the attacking sense. It's been all Lions for the moment after those shots from Bates earlier. And now outside clears. If that one goes over the head, Mees could be in here, and just too much of the elbow there used on Last. And Last letting him know about it as well. As Harper launches this one. A minute to go plus stoppage time. Ravitsai lets it bounce. He gets one in the head and gets a foul. It's been that kind of extra time.
There's been some pretty ugly football in the initial 30.
Yes, I went down a rabbit hole the other day of 2010 local football highlights. This has been the closest to that I've seen in many years.
So can the Lions sneak it late? Again, Barton with authority over the top. Payne looking to turn away, but Ravitsai was there. Still something to give from Jolivet. Won that ball back. Downs threads it through for Badger. Badger now looking to run at Barton. Jolivet there to support him. Wright will have a run. It's a Wright. Dancing on the ball. He kills it in. Miranda to the back post. Mees! Oh, what a save by Harper! The flag had been raised regardless, so it wouldn't have counted, but Taya Harper wasn't to know, and he came up trumps to deny Mees.
Well, you're keeping that one in your highlight reel regardless of whether it's offside or not. Mees open at the back of the 6-yard box, on target, made himself enormous. Taya Harper, not just huge, and he's pulled out a fantastic save as Devonport thought about it, take Badger. Has Wrights, 2 sliding challenges at the same time on Badger.
Oh, the whistle's gone early there. Pitt was tearing off one-on-one. There was the advantage, says Rowan Pitt.
Oh, Badger, and especially now they've got the rules about bringing back the yellow cards, which obviously wasn't around a few years ago. Badger on the deck, Jolivet making a little bit of a nuisance of himself. Yeah, you're right too.
I just can't believe the advantage hasn't been paid there.
I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, you got the cameraman there. Oh, he was tearing into the box. Pitt, I think, is rightful to be frustrated there.
I don't know what Jolivet and the Strikers players are having words with. They should, A, be lucky that the advantage wasn't paid, and B, they have clattered the same man twice.
Well, this, you'd imagine, will be it once play can resume. He'll get back to his feet and they'll have one last chance. One last chance is all they needed in regulation. Could they repeat the trick in added time? Or are we headed to the penalty spot to decide this one? Is this just cramp for Badger, or is he too succumbing to an injury? You'd imagine he'd be another one who'd be high on the list of penalty takers.
Yeah, look, Kingborough in this lineup haven't really taken any penalty shootouts, so it's a bit of an unknown. But in terms of talent and ability to place the ball, you would imagine Badger is on that list. It's good to see him. He's got back to his feet and walking still gingerly, but you would imagine, I haven't even heard how much stoppage time there'd be. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like 5 or 6 at this point. If Brendan Cocker's keeping accurate time, it would be getting to that point. See the Lions. What can they do from this free kick?
Downs stands over the football. Dinks it in. Mees flicks on. Headed clear. Jolivet. Good, the Strikers springboard back the other way. Jolivet, Payne bursting for him. He couldn't pick him out. And Schwarz was on hand to steer clear. Well, down the line, only so far as Downs, who just sends it into the night sky. Pitt dueling there with Barton. Now Noah Mees. Miranda. Downs heads wide for Badger. Badger is clipped, and that's got to be a free kick.
John Fennick absolutely ropeable at that decision. But to be fair, Devonport, if they're pushing back, you commit the foul. It's another professional foul from Devonport. They are holding on for dear life for a penalty shootout.
A reversal of the 90, where it was the Lions who pushing, finally got the leveler, but Devonport for much of the 90 minutes looked the winners. Really extra time.
Is that a sub or a sneaky? No, it is a sub. Tom Smith.
Tom Smith, so they like the experience of Smith to take a pen. You flagged it, Paul Hunt.
Just one of the players on the bug I've seen take a pen before.
Well, that is get an experienced head on. He's been in that team since he was about 16, I think, Tom Smith. As this one is chipped towards the back post. Ravitsai! Oh, keeper! Gets across and they keep it out. I thought Pitt was going to steer it home after Ravitsai won the header. Somehow it stays out.
Pitt was right there. He's in the same spot as Eli Wright was earlier. Almost the same blade of grass on the pitch. They still have another chance though.
Goes near post. Cook was there. It's steered over the roof and they'll get another crack. Oh boy, the multi-ball system going, so we don't need to wait to get that one from the car park. The Lions can go again. Surely the last play of the match before a shootout. Secondary chance to swing a ball in. He takes the man on instead. He's into the box. He drives. Saved again by Harper.
And another corner.
Oh, Badger, what a cup winner that would have been.
You can tell he got shirt pulled as well, and I wasn't sure if he was going to go down. And the Kingborough Lions ball boys, in their enthusiasm, now got multi-ball on the field, which Brendan Copper will deal with. It has been an avalanche of an attack here for the Lions in this second period of extra time.
They're piling it on. Can they find the last minute winner? Badger goes near post. Downs was there. So too was last. They'll get another corner. Another chance.
They're sensing the opportunity here, the Lions faithful down that end.
It is the Strikers holding on here. They're under siege as Downs comes across and says, I'm taking this one.
I think he sensed the tired legs of Badger after putting about 3 straight in.
Cometh the hour. Can Greg Downs be the man to pick someone out here? Mees is there. Pitt's on the keeper. Downs sends it to the back post. Ravitsai's been dragged down. Oh, there was a huge shirt grab there on Ravitsai, I thought. Referee says nothing doing. Oh, boy. Would have been a big call, but that might be that.
I can't believe that. Live, I thought that was an obvious shirt pull on a player trying to make a diving header. I'll let you watch that as Harper launches that one high. Downs gets it further forward. We are at the 7th minute of stoppage time as Barton launches that one. Can Devonport go down the other end? Ravitsai clears it out for a throw. Your verdict, Andrew.
Well, that had a better look live than it did on the replay, to be honest. I thought it was a clear shirt grab.
You and me both.
Granted, there were probably 3 other shirt grabs in the box we didn't sell.
Correct.
So the Strikers now, could they steal it late? It's flicked on, Dennehy lurking. O'Connell gathers, and we head to the penalty spots to decide the 2026 Lakoseljac Cup Final.
Pre-game, the prediction was a tight game, and that has been a tight tussle throughout the whole 127 minutes that we've been out here at KG5 Football Park. Penalties will decide it. Both teams with chances, normal time, extra time. Kingborough probably shading that extra time period. certainly with territory, but it will go to penalties. Devonport probably been holding on to that since the second portion of extra time started. They've got the experience in the penalty shootout in this Lakoseljac Cup Final. The Lions faithful trying to rile their just about home crowd advantage. Obviously we're not down at Lightwood. Plenty have made the trip up the Brooker. And I'm curious, do they still do a coin toss to decide what end of the ground, or will we just do it at the house end, shed end, as we've sort of alternated between those two scenarios over the years?
I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure there's a coin toss.
Yeah,
that's the rules. I think they'll be followed. Whether both just agree to go down the shed end where there's a bigger crowd, I don't know. Or whether we'll see a huge migration.
I remember one year where they just put it down that other end, and from memory it was a north-south encounter, so I would assume after that one off that rule's been tightened up, as some of the all boys probably being told don't scuff at the penalty spot right before we're about to have a penalty there.
Yeah, having their own penalty shootout here at the moment.
They're practicing.
The crowd getting stuck into the young goalie who's just let one slip through right in front of the crowd.
Meanwhile, the FT official is madly trying to keep the penalty spot in as pristine condition as possible.
So here we go. Penalty shootout to decide the Laka Cup. Who can hold their nerve from the penalty spot? It's been an epic final. It's been an epic year of finals. The semi-finals incredible. Now this final going the distance. The Lions captain in many ways, their heart and soul, Eli Lutmer, going to have to watch on from the sidelines after seemingly pulling a hamstring in the 117th minute. It's going to be agonising for him and his side get it done. Who is going to be able to get through? The Lions have already gone through this once. They got past South Hobart in the semi-final via a shootout. And Nick O'Connell will be the hero in goals yet again. Harper has been very good in goals all evening for the Strikers at the other end. Both these goalies have been fantastic. Can they make themselves the heroes now?
Both good shot stoppers as well. We've obviously complimented their aerial prowess throughout the evening, but both also good shot stoppers in Tager Harper and Nick O'Connell. Curious if either you would assume coaches like Tom Ballantyne and John Fennick have done their due diligence, had a plan should this eventuate. It wasn't a completely unlikely scenario. There's Connor Park and O'Connell deciding on orders of penalties. There's the coin at toss. What would you like? Giving them the option. Both players from both sides converging on the centre circle. And it looks like we're going to have a great migration, and I'll be honest, if any of these kids pull out this power cord, I am going to be ropeable. Because we've got about 100 people running underneath our scaffolding.
Well, not a lot of respect for the orange fence cordoning off this area.
No,
it's fair to say that's being trampled by the stampede of Lions right now.
Yeah, the Pride is certainly making their presence known. Looks like everyone has got through there safely. No doubt if anything's happened, I will hear about it.
We're still coming. Forget the Serengeti. The Great Migration is taking place below us here at KG5 as hundreds of lions are tearing up from one end of the pitch to the other.
Cubs everywhere.
Meanwhile, on the pitch, the goalies speaking. Brenton Copra, no doubt, just going over the... If you move off your line, it'll be retaken.
We've got the one leg on or behind, and large majority of rattling of goalposts and things as well, although still see a few try and do that. Interestingly, Tager Harper on a yellow card. Assume that will mean we won't see a Nico Giansopoulos attempt from him. Nick O'Connell still got that little tactic up his sleeve potentially. Shout out to all our Canadians. Greg Downs take the first penalty for Kingborough and puts that calmly in the bottom corner. Gives a bit of shush to the Devonport Strikers faithful behind. 1-0 Lions.
Muscard, he would probably be the longest serving line of this squad, I'd have thought. Pretty comfortably Downs. He's been there for many years. He's seen them come close before. Puts them ahead in the shootout. They've never been closer than this. Who can hold their nerve as up steps Ivan Jolivet, who's been outstanding throughout the 90 for his side. And the Lions fans finding their voice in net. O'Connell stands. He was the hero against his former side, South Hobart. Can he come up big here? Up steps Jolivet. And he drives it home and gives it back to the crowd. It's one apiece.
O'Connell went the right way. Sort of a good height, expecting the keeper to dive across. And a good amount of power puts that one in the back of the net. The Kingborough faithful, usually pretty noisy down at Lightwood Park. They haven't got that big distance from their goal down there, getting nice and up close behind the net. Here at KG5 as Noah Mees, the former Launceston City striker, moved down the Midland a couple of years ago. Step up. Mees v Harper. Harper jumping up and down on the spot. Chopra blows the whistle. Mees into the back of the net. Harper going the wrong way again. 2 to the good for the Lions and 2 down the left-hand side.
Yeah, not sure it would have mattered if you went the right way. That was a beautifully struck penalty from Noah Mees. Right in the bottom corner, struck with power. Perfect execution from Noah Mees as Brodie Dennehy approaches the spot. Probably with Smith, the longest serving Dev Strikers player in their squad. Very experienced head. The ball in the back of the net many, many times. Can he do it now when his team need him to? Dennehy. Denied by O'Connell, who gets across and makes a huge stop. 2-1 to the Lions after 2.
Covered so much ground there, did O'Connell, while still saying behind the line. It's where that tall goalkeeper frame just comes in so handy with Nick O'Connell. Moved sharply to his left, and there's a good height for the keeper. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it was a good height for the keeper. And now stepping up, Hugo Schwartz up against Harper. Again, the Vuvuzella's silence here. Schwartz steps up, and he goes the other side. Harper went left, Schwartz went right. 3-1, and the Lions, they can almost touch it.
It's advantage Lions, but not done yet as Geordie Payne will step up. All the pressure of the world on him. Needs to put this one away. Take them within touch at the end of the third round of penalties. Geordie Payne. The substitute. O'Connell, he'll be feeling it after that last save. Staring him down as Harper just told to move back to the byline. Payne v O'Connell. And he sends the keeper the wrong way and keeps the Strikers in it. 3-2 after 3, but it's still advantage Kingborough.
It is, but I do like a good 2 3-step penalty. Just, you know what you're going to do. No need for the big stutter step. Just calmly place it. Trust yourself. And that's what Geordie Payne did there. And now it is Joel Badger for the Lions. He's been one of, if not their best player so far in this final tonight. Will he make it? 4-2. It's Badger. And Badger goes straight down the middle. Stands and receives the applause of the Lions faithful. They're even closer now.
Just enjoying his work there as the Badger. But that's it. He's done it. He's converted. And there is officially no wiggle room left for the Strikers. They must score their next two. And they need their keeper to stop the next one in between it. Well, the Lions will be hoisting the cup. Here comes Connor Park, who headed them into the lead. Looked like he'd headed them to a cup final victory till Wright's late intervention. Can he keep them alive in the shootout? Up steps Park, and he sends O'Connell the wrong way. And that will mean Peter Rd7 can step up and win the Lakoseljac Cup for the Kingborough Lions. The substitute came on for his captain in the 118th minute. He can't have been expecting to take this.
This would be Lutman's spot, I reckon.
He can't have been expecting this at all. The captain injured with just a couple of minutes left. On he comes. And the match is on his shoulders. It's Rd7. He's seen the ball roll off the spots. And just a few more seconds to think. To win the Lakoseljac Cup. Rd7 delivers! And the Lions have at long last won silverware in the most dramatic cup finals. A 95th minute equaliser from Eli Wright. They were dead and buried. A long throw in, saw the late leveller, and then they hold their nerve from the penalty spots. And at long last, silverware is headed to the den, Paul Hunt.
The sleeping giant of Tasmanian football. No league titles in the modern era. No cup finals in the modern era. But they are off to the Australia Cup round of 32, the Kingborough Lions. John Fennick and the side have built quite the team this year, and they are rewarded with a first cup final success. 3 losses in the previous 26 years. They finally get that win. Their fans in raptures. Smoke bombs out. War with the pride. The Lions are going to the national stage.
Oh, bedlam here. Their fans with the good old-fashioned pitch invasion the moment that penalty crossed the line. It was an epic final. The Strikers were seconds away from clinching it, but the Lions, they never stopped believing. They conjured the late leveller, and look, extra time, they were the better team. They had the Strikers hanging on for dear life in the final 30 minutes and couldn't find a way through. It went to the penalties where all 5 takers held their nerve. I think we've got the quick sign-off here, so our cameraman has got to get down for the presentation, so we won't keep talking. But thank you for joining myself and Paul Hahn. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this classic cup final. We'll keep going with the presentations here, but Kingborough Lakoseljac Cup final victors for 2026, and the party will go long into the night at the den, you can be sure of that.
Absolutely. They are paying a special mention to Eli Lutmer as well, who couldn't run on for that pitch invasion, just fell to his knees in celebration. The captain of the side will be raising that trophy soon, but we're almost done here. It's been a pleasure bringing this one to you. Great to be back in the commentary box with you, Andrew. And as you say, Kingborough, the place to be tonight. Started warming up. Just lying on the ground, just copped a 25 minute warm-up pass to the face. Oh no. Try not to crack up.
Gotta hold both of these down. Okay. Thanks for joining us for the presentations. Congratulations so much for both teams. It's been a thrilling game we've all witnessed here today. Firstly, I would like to welcome Neradine Lakoseljac and Johnny Lakoseljac, part of the storied Lakoseljac family, to present the medals and trophy today, assisted by Football Tasmania CEO Tony Pinata and Board President Chris Brookwell. First item of today, we'll thank our referees and match officials today, presided over a great game. Centre referee Brenton Copra, and assistants Thomas Mace and Joshua Clement, with fourth official Alfonso Giusti. Next, I would like to welcome the captain of our runners-up, Devonport Strikers, Connor Park, to say a few words on behalf of his team. Hold both of these.
Yep. Firstly, congratulations to Kingborough. Well done. Tight game. Always is against you guys. You've had the wood over us the last couple of seasons, but yeah, it took until the final seconds of normal time for you to get it, but well done. To our boys, that fashion that we lost that in hurts even more, and we can be proud of the 95 minutes we put in and then the extra 30. Just take it in, let it hurt, use it for the rest of the season. We've still got plenty to play for. To our travelling supporters, thanks coming down on a Monday. I know a lot of you probably still have work tomorrow, so big effort. Safe travels home for the long trip. To the Kingborough supporters, well done. Atmosphere was awesome. You really supported your team very well. It's good vibe out there when everyone's kind of having a crack, so keep it up. And good luck for the round of 32, boys.
Watching the game closely, and to award today's McDonald's Player of the Match, the winner of our Player of the Match goes to Eli Lutmer of Kingborough Lions. I'd like to keep Eli up here now, if it's okay, as the captain of the winning team of Kingborough Lions, to say a few words and also present medals to his side as well.
Double.
Firstly, to Devonport, a tough way for you guys to lose. You had the better of us there, 1-0 up, and I think easily could have run away with that. So I think big thanks to you guys. One, for the way that the game was played, good spirits, physical, but that's what we expect from you guys every single time we play. So a big thanks to you guys. Safe travels. Keep your heads up, and we'll see you again in a few weeks. To FFT for putting on the day, for the organisation. It's just super from you guys, so a big thanks to you. To the Kingborough faithful, look around every single part of the ground. You can see Kingborough, whether it's juniors, families, and that's what this club's about. And I couldn't be prouder to give back to you guys what you deserve. The belief that the club, the committee has in us and gives to us, we couldn't be prouder to give back this to you guys, and you deserve it. So thank you. To the boys, what a group. To the gaffer, I've never seen a more committed gaffer. He gives absolutely everything. Without him, we wouldn't have had success that we had today. But also every single one of the boys, 17 players deep, every single person played a role today, and without every single person, we wouldn't have achieved it. That's it. I'll be quiet now. So thank you. First up, Maxi Puller. No? First up, McShane. Joey McShane, come on down, mate. Next up, Eli Wright. Joel Badger. Owen. Lockie. Esteban. Roll bits. Solly. Big baggy. PD. Cooko. The big man in the sticks, Nico. Ready, the bison? Did you say bison? The bison. Big Measy. The man of the moment, Bradley Lacka. Fossil. Greggy Downs. The gaffer, Johnny. How many? Big tatters.
Who am I calling next? How many medals left?
Nick. Big Nick Atwell, the heart of the club. Bailey. Lucky last, Big Tobes. Come on down, Toby.
Momentarily get Naradine and Johnny Lakoseljac to present the trophy. The 2026 Lakoseljac Cup champions and Football Tasmania Australia Cup entrants, the Kingborough Lions.